6 figures for the whip. No chance, you catch me down bad. OD90, aim straight for your head. Calling on my man, she know she at the top of the list, and she put up with her friends. So I tell her throw it back, and then I blow it back. Drop it down low, let them know it's like that. Feel like I'm hexed, yeah, blow it back. Collar on her neck, and her legs real fat. Tell her throw it back, then I blow it back. Drop it down low, let them know it's like that. Feel like I'm hexed, yeah, blow it back. Collar on her neck, and her legs real fat, yeah. She keep on saying that she never had and that she like being a miss. Shake it up, say the realest clip in the mix. Then we always acting like a clip. Say the tick, talk slick, then we empty out the clip. 6 figures for the whip. Tell my body, you ain't gonna tell me the top of the list. Tell my body, I'm the dog, she the tick. I'm the god, this ain't no mother. It's comfy at the top, we ain't never took a loss. Demon girls, land train fangs, got an early fan. Bloody on a succubus, I feel like I'm devil man. Bloody when I'm up in there, harness with a pentagram. How you get a black hole independent, it was in the plan. She's corpse, yeah, saying that's my team. Hey, what is up? Glad to be back again with yet another stream. Messing around experimenting a little bit with all these different cameras. I mean, now I have, let's see, I think I have the Discord thing working well enough so I can just use it as a general camera. We've got the layout here, a little bit junky, just a little bit, but yeah, it's oh yeah, here it is. Yeah. Here's the camera, the phone camera here. So we have this going. I figured I would mess around with it a little bit, see how well it works, because depending on how well it works or how poorly it works, I can use it for let me see here. I can use it for IRL streams. If I ever need to like leave and then pop back up, I can just do that. So anyways, not a newbie. I am back. There we go, yeah. This song right here we got, this is Back from the Dead by Zonti. This is the track that we're rocking right now. Gotta turn on the stream chat. I completely forgot to do that. It's been way too long since I've streamed. Or not the stream type, the TTS. But this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna be doing a lot of reacts, which I haven't done. It's been way too long since I've done some reacts. Hold up. I'm gonna shut off this music for a sec here. But yo, it's back to be live again. It's been a while. It's been way too long since I've been live. Let's see. What do we have to get to? Because I haven't been. Let me go back onto the Discord here. All right. Let's see what we have to get through. Because you guys have sent me lots of memes and things. So there's definitely gonna be some material that we could use. I've been kind of behind. I don't know what in the world's been happening with the whole Ukraine thing, because it's been a while since I've even taken a look at all of that. So we can take a look at some news. I figured it'd be good to kick things off by looking at the news first, and then we can move on to memes and YTPs as people start coming into the chat. Let's see here.
Are you actually streaming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm streaming. Yeah, I'm streaming now. Yeah. No, I guess I didn't say anything, but yeah, I'm streaming right now. Sorry. There we go. The Craig cam going over there, but I don't know what happened to the focus. Focus was fine earlier while I was testing. There we go. Now the focus is all good. All right, so I gotta go grab some material for streaming, which granted is not gonna be very hard. I appreciate everybody in the Discord for popping in and like giving me stuff to react to, because that's like very, very helpful.
This is gonna be a good stream. Let's see here. Let me copy this link here. One second. I still gotta get everything up here. Let's pull this up. Let's see. Let's pull this up. Let's see here. Cool. There we go. So I've got one more news thing I gotta add. Well, not news, but like a commentary thing. Let's see, what's it called? Oh yeah. And actually, I think we should actually start with this one, because I think this is gonna be a nice, humorous way to kick off the stream here. Now, I am.
It's a moving.
Let me see here. I am going to get a drink really quickly.
DJLL reacts. Said in the chat. Daniel is back on YouTube. Help.
So you talk about Daniel Lord? He never left. Wait, what did he do? Did Daniel Lord do something? I wasn't aware that he did anything new. Let's see. No, DJL, what did he do? I have no idea what he did. And he's got some video up now called How I Lost 2 Years of Work in an Hour. This is me explaining how I got hacked. Channel got closed down. So weird. But I don't know. I'm not really going to react to it. I don't think he's really worth my time.
DJLL reacts. Said in the chat. He got banned for posting NEWDS on YT, and he got his channel back by pulling a victim card.
He got banned for posting nudes on YouTube and got his channel pulled. Oh my gosh. What in the world? That's insane. That's absolutely insane. That almost, if it wasn't for Daniel Lord, I don't know if I'd believe him, but it's Daniel Lord, so yeah, my goodness. What a guy. He is. I don't really like talking about Daniel Lord too much.
DJLL reacts.
Let me see here.
Said in the chat.
Check Colin
community tab post.
Oh my goodness. It's like an actual thing. Colin? That's ISM, right? Let me see here. Alright, I'm gonna look at this community post and then we get to some of the things that have been in the Discord. This ISM. No, not the international scale modeler. I'm looking for
DJLL reacts. Said in the chat. Yes.
There it is. ISM. Okay. Let's see. Community tab. Oh my goodness. Says here, seriously, pretending that you got hacked can't actually take the blame away from the fact you intentionally posted sexually explicit material on the platform. Stop playing the victim card and own up to your misdeeds. It's like how Paul Bernardo was able to avoid arrest for 5 years by lying to officials. Daniel Lord is to plea YouTube on Twitter That, oh no, none of this stuff actually happened, like he did during the Bread Gang ban. But at least the Bread Gang knows how to see through his desperate defensiveness. You've cried wolf too many times, boy. That's insane. What a guy. And he didn't even respond to any of the Bread Gang claims on his channel, which I think is telling by how much he cares, and how sorry he is that he is willing to not even issue an apology for everything. But that's insane. Why would you? Also, like, you should know
reacts.
That
said in the chat. Whoa.
Let's see the comments here. Seems accurate. Exactly. He is just blaming everybody on himself. He shouldn't have been allowed back. It's insane. What amazes me, interestingly enough, is how like Daniel Lord's has so many viewers still. Like he clearly his viewers somehow aren't figuring out about all like how like terrible and dumb and stupid he is.
DJLL reacts.
It's insane.
Said in the chat.
It's insane.
He said should.
Let's see. I'm gonna go get a drink. Got this video that I can play. I'm just gonna let it run while I'm away because I'm just like Hasanabi.
So Kingdom Realm Ministries, that's what it is. They were filmed playing music on a flight to Germany. So here's what.
Nah. No. No. I'm completely joking. Let me see here. I don't know if the camera can still see me or not, but yeah, it's just a joke. Also later today, I'll be trying out Soylent, doing a review of Soylent on stream, so that'll be fun.
DJLL reacts.
By the way, the drink of the day is gonna be Sprite. Craig came, yeah, Craig was here earlier. You missed him. But one thing that's nice about YouTube, you can rewind the stream even while I'm live. So go check that out if you missed that that part of the stream. Although he wasn't really doing much, I think he was painting his nails. But yeah, no, I was joking on about Hasanabi. It's fairly well known that he likes to just like get up and. Hasanabi is known for, while he's live streaming, like starting a video and then walking away, which I will never. That's not something I would do. One thing that people like watching me for is for my reactions to things, and so you also get more time, like on your stream. You use more material. Your material just lasts longer if you don't do that, because instead of like, you know, just leaving something on and then walking away, you can pause it and now you have more material while you're live to go over. So it's just like, I don't understand it, but this is what Hasanabi does. But I, thankfully, both for you and for me, for both of us, for the quality of the content, I am not Hasanabi. So here we go. All right, here we go. We have this video here, which is Omar wonders why she can't praise Allah in the sky. I don't know if this is like real or not, because he does a lot of skits and things. I have not watched Steven Crowder in a while, so this should be an interesting watch.
So Kingdom Realm Ministries, that's what it is. They were filmed playing music on a flight to Germany. So here's what first went viral, and then I'll give you the response, which is hysterical.
Are you allowed to do that? Like, that doesn't seem like something that should be allowed to do. Like, this guy is playing a guitar and singing publicly in front of people on an airplane. No, I mean, it's private property. So like the people who are there can like be like, oh yeah, we'll just let you play your guitar, it's fine. But I don't understand why they would allow this. Like, I feel like if I was gonna DJ, if I was gonna DJ on a plane, I wouldn't be allowed to do that. Legal. But I mean, it's arbitrary. It's interesting. I think it's just interesting that they're allowing this. One thing that's cool too is that like it seems like everyone's into it, which is nice. Like, it's one thing if you're like just being a jerk and like having a disturbance, but everyone's clearly like into it, which is really cool. You get like that one cringy dude with the weird beard, like kind of clapping down there. DGL, it's legal. But it's just like I'm surprised that they're allowing it. Like, dude, imagine trying to sleep through that.
Now, before I go to, there were some negative reactions from Ilhan Omar. Let me remind you that she married her brother, her ex-husband. Brother share the same name, birth date. This is overlay A1. Even Snopes called this claim unproven, and that's as good.
And hold on, because I'm not Hasanabi, I'm not going to continue playing this as I go grab a plate for my chips. I will be back. And also because I'm not rich like Hasanabi, I'm not gonna, have to spend like 15 minutes trying to find a bowl because I'm not a millionaire who has like a crazy huge house. Okay. Well, here we go.
Good as they can give you. By the way, it's your job to figure it out, detective.
Snopes, it's in the name.
Snopes, for crying out loud. Yeah, Columbo, like, I don't know. It's not What are you waiting for those kids to have hooves?
No, you're not Columbo anymore, then.
No.
Well, I want to rewind to this. I feel like I'm not reacting.
Peter
Hold on.
have hooves.
But I think he's doing something rhetorically here, which I don't.
Now,
one of the things I don't necessarily like about
negative reactions from Ilhan Omar. Let me remind you that she married her brother.
That has nothing to do with the situation. Like, Ilhan Omar, the person who, married her brother, we know this, but I don't understand how that's relevant to her criticizing Christian singing 30,000 feet in the air.
Her ex-husband, brother share the same name, birth date. This is overlay A1. Even Snopes called this claim unproven, and that's as good as they can give you.
Why is it unproven? Because there's like proof of it, isn't there? It's like a marriage certificate.
By the way,
that's literally where the rumor came. The rumor came from proof. Like, there's proof, and people were like, "Ooh, that's interesting," and that's when the whole rumor got started.
It's your job to figure it out, detective.
Snopes, it's in the name.
Snopes, for crying out loud. Yeah, Columbo, like, I don't know. It's not What are you waiting for those kids to have hooves?
No, you're not Columbo anymore, then.
No.
You don't even have to wait.
No. How great would it be if Peter Falk worked at
One thing that's
Snopes?
weird is like a lot of Steven Crowder's joke. That face, but like
DJLL reacts. Said in the chat, my own uncle after my dad broke up with my mom tried to date her like I don't want to call him Uncle Dad.
What the heck? A lot of Steven Crowder's jokes just don't make sense. It works as like a non sequitur humor thing, but once you get over the non sequitur humor, it's just like, what the heck is he saying?
She married her brother.
Yeah. Oh. I looked.
What? I mean,
It's real.
I tried not to look.
So Congresswoman saw that. Nice Christians just playing music. Again, look, whether you're a Christian or not, seems fine. Tweeted, I think
Mediocre
my family
skill, yeah.
and I should have a prayer session next time I'm on a plane. How do you think it will end? The implication there is, of course,
also, you're talking about prayer, which is like infinitely more boring than singing music.
if you
No,
heard-
I'm joking, but like, completely different vibe. A worship in like music singing session is completely different than prayer. So, not at all equivalent unless you're Jewish. If you're Jewish, singing and praying are absolutely synonymous.
a Muslim call to prayer on a plane that,
Allahu Akbar.
right, that people might be
Yeah, like that.
more nervous.
I think that, of all the differences that Jews and Muslims have, they do pray the same.
One.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I think there'd be two big problems with that.
Yes. Something about precedent? I don't know. No, we all remember when
Like, Islam prayers are just like Jewish prayers in like the Arabic subgenre.
jars of clay drove a postal truck into the World Trade Center.
Yes,
Right.
of course.
Exactly.
Yeah, we all remember when what is it? Creedence Walk on Water
Yes.
revival. Yes. Hijacked a plane.
Yes. When Sandy Patty flew a 747 into a megachurch.
Right.
We
Well, yes.
remember that. Yeah.
Yes, Zach Sabbath would hijack.
Yes. If you play Best of Hillsong backwards, it says blow up.
DJLL reacts. Said in the chat,
That's weird.
Jesus,
Honey.
Cougar, Melon Christ. I don't know Christian bands.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I know a couple. A DC Talk.
DC Talk.
I was on a
They're not
flight
even
one
together
time in
anymore.
Indonesia, largest Islamic country
Jesus,
in the world.
freak 'em out.
People were wearing like all the get up and garb and chanting the entire time. And I looked at a friend of mine at the time and I was like, "We're not getting off this plane. We're not making it." Of course, it would make you nervous.
Of course it would make you nervous because that's what people have done historically when they've blown up planes. I know what you're saying. What about all the people who do the call to prayer who didn't blow up planes? I get it. That's most of them.
Right.
Okay, so there's a clickbait headline here. Ilhan Omar's not wondering why she can't praise Allah in the sky. She's like, I should do that sometime. What do you think? And everybody knows that won't go over. Like,
reacts.
well,
Said in the chat. I sent a meme in the bread gang.
oh, nice. Thank you. She knows, and everyone knows, that screaming Allah Akbar on a plane is not going to go over well. And, you know, it's kind of, it's very strange. I wonder why people on planes would not be okay with someone just screaming Allah Akbar. I feel like in a post 9/11 world, that sort of tolerance should just be commonplace.
At the very least, a plurality of them. But those aren't the ones I'm primarily concerned with. No. It's not a double standard. It's just setting a standard.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. If Bluto Blutarsi walked in, grabbed his guitar.
No, it's just like understanding the sensitivity of the fact that, like, you know, people who say Allah Akbar while on planes have been known to not abide by all of the rules of the plane. So it's like kind of a thing.
Said in the chat.
We'd all be scared as heck. Yes, I think probably 50% of the Muslims on the plane would be scared as heck. Like, not all Muslims are on board with all the Allah Akbar, like, Islamic jihad stuff.
Just setting a standard.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. If Bluto Blutarsi walked in, grabbed his guitar, bashed it against the wall, and handed him back the neck, I would find it funny.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, it's a bit annoying if that's a charter flight. There was people in the seat like as they were panning, like, really again, Jack.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of people that were like, yes, I believe in God too. I bet you Jesus would like quiet on a plane.
Yes.
I'm sure Jesus is like, not now, son.
We have to control everything. He put up the no smoking sign.
Yes.
Yeah. Ding. That's the seatbelt sign.
It looks like it might have been a private plane too.
Yeah.
Looks like it might have been a mega church, like a charter to fly.
Yeah, it was probably. I'm sure they knew him.
They were flying to heaven.
I doubt some guys like just grabbing the old guitar and gonna play.
Right. Yeah. I guarantee it wasn't JetBlue because the flight attendant was like,
No. Spirit Airlines.
That's not on my plane.
But you say Spirit. We're talking about
It wasn't Spirit because he would have used the guitar to hit somebody to get a big front seat.
I think it might have been No Soul Plane.
Yes.
full of redheads.
Just white as it can
You know,
possibly.
you're not like, it's kind of boring and weird. They're just like making like kind of like jokes and chilling, but it's not to the subject that I was hoping to cover, which is like saying Allah Akbar in a plane is just like not something that's ever going to be socially acceptable. Do not try this. I would say at home, but if you have a plane in your home, that's weird. Do not try this while on a plane. Do not say Allah Akbar. Practice at home, kids, or at your local mosque, but don't say that on a plane. Okay, let's see. What is this? Testicle tanning proposed on Tucker Carlson's masculinity special. I want to look up the original clip for this because, you know, people love to make commentary that colors what initially happened. And so I prefer just to see Tucker Carlson testicle tanning. Ooh, this one should be fun. The best female swimmer in the world. That'll be fun to watch.
DJ LL reacts. Said in the chat.
I'm not.
Testicle tanning. What? Ha ha ha.
Where's like the actual clip? Wait. Is there a video of it? Because I want to see the video. Is this the clip? I promise you are not ready for Tucker's latest montage. What the heck? Oh my gosh. I feel like this is going to be something of legend right here. Let's go. In the current year. No. What the heck? What is? Hold on. Oh, wait. I gotta get in a good place here. Ooh, excuse me. All right. In the current year, the cycle continues.
Once a society collapses, then you're in hard times. Well, hard iron sharpens iron, as they say, and those hard times inevitably produce men who are tough, men who are resourceful, men who are strong enough to survive. And then they go on to re-establish order, and so the cycle begins again.
What is... So that's the tanning thing? It's actually not as... What? Hold on.
Stop testicle tanning. Come on. Stop testicle tanning. Come on. Stop.
Okay, that's a fair reaction. I have no idea what the heck that was. Did he explain? That... Hold on. In his new special on how to raise testosterone levels in men, Tucker Carlson's guest suggests testicle tanning using infrared light as a bromeopathic therapy.
There. If you want to optimize and take it to another level, expose yourself to red light therapy.
Yes.
And the Juve that we were using in the documentary. There's a massive amount
Which is testicle tanning.
It's testicle tanning, but it's also full body red light therapy, which has massive amount of benefits. And there's so much data out there.
Does this work? I don't know. I don't know like enough of the evidence because like a lot of things seem wacky, but like actually have like real world effects. I'm just not a scientist, so I don't know how the science works. But it'd be interesting if true.
That isn't being
but still weird.
Covered.
So
I ain't doing it.
obviously half the viewers right now are like, what? That's testicle tanning? That's crazy. But my view is, okay, testosterone levels like crash and nobody says anything about it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So why is it crazy to seek solutions?
It's not crazy to seek solutions, and I think I was recently.
It's not crazy to seek solutions, but a lot of people are just gonna be like, oh yeah, standing in front of the, like in the middle of the Mojave Desert, completely naked, while like putting your like junk in front of a weird red light thingy, and like standing like you're like the man from that like scientific diorama who has like 8 arms and 8 legs. A lot of people are gonna think that's kind of weird, and if you don't understand why like people think that's kind of weird, I feel like just like a lot of other rich elite people, or Twitter zombies, you're not in touch with reality.
Recently exposed to a term called bromeopathy, and I think there's a lot of people out there right now that
I'll cringe, but perfect for the
don't
boomer
trust
audience though.
The mainstream information, and they're taking.
That is insane. Well, now kids. Now you know what testicle tanning is. Let's see here. Next up for Tucker is Kid Rock, who seems befuddled by the previous segment on testicle tanning. Tucker tries to get him to take it seriously, but even Kid is confused.
Ladies and gentlemen. So our cameraman, I think Tom
Stop.
Fox is in your house right now.
He is. Dude, stop testicle tanning. Come on. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything that good in a long time.
Open your mind, Bobby.
I'm starting a punk rock band, and it's called Testicle Tanning. That's the end of it.
I think you'll be massively successful. But I mean,
Yeah.
don't you think at this point, when so many of the therapies, the paths they've told us to take have turned out to be dead ends that have really hurt people, why wouldn't open-minded people seek new solutions?
Okay, hold on. Saying why wouldn't open-minded people seek solutions is completely saying like is different than saying like spray your private parts with red light.
I don't know what the hell's going on in this world. I'm not even sure if I understood that question, but some days I just want to stop this planet and let me off. Like,
Fair. So fair. What the heck? thread's kind of divulging and not having all the content I'm looking for. But now we have
This is my proudest moment.
But now we have David Pacman, who famously thinks that asking what a man is a gotcha. Asking what a woman is a gotcha question. It's hilarious. But that was a cringe take.
To see to believe.
But to be fair, it's not. One thing that's important is like just because someone has one cringe take does not make them automatically cringe. Like some people could still have good takes. Some people can have like mostly cringe takes and have like one really good take, or someone can have one cringe take and have a lot of really good takes. So we'll see if that's the case with David Pacman, because this is like the second full David Pacman video that I've seen.
So this you really have to see to believe. This is just out of this world bizarre. Tucker Carlson, the Fox News propagandist, has been promoting a forthcoming special on masculinity and testosterone that is going to, I guess, shed light on the Christ.
Shed light. Shed red light, my guy.
Of masculinity that Tucker says exists, and talk about the issues with decreased testosterone in men, which we will get to in a moment.
But also, I feel like the most reasonable thing is like to stop doing things that are causing it to decrease rather than do something new. I just feel like that.
It's all really weird. And one of the things that many people noticed about the promo for the thing was that it's quote homoerotic. Now again, like I
didn't find it erotic, but then I'm not homo, so.
To say something is homoerotic.
Yeah, I'm coming out, guys. I'm straight. Yes. You guessed it.
Pejoratively is kind of homophobic, and I don't think that's what the commentaries were here. It's pointing out this is all about restoring men in the image that Tucker Carlson and other right-wingers see men as being expected to hold, and yet the promo seemed much more.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute now. Now for this man who doesn't know what a man is, because defining that would be a gotcha question. It's not just right wingers who have a very like specific definition of what a man should be. The left adheres to social norms of what men and women should and shouldn't be, more than the right does, in my opinion, because they oftentimes like look at what you see with the trans community. You have people who are like, oh, well, I like things that are stereotypically girly. You have like women who are like, I like things that are stereotypically manly. And then like so like the trans community and like all like the LGBT left wing things, they're all like, oh, if you like things that are stereotypically like guy things, then you must be a guy. I don't know of anything that could possibly reinforce gender stereotypes more than that narrative.
See men as being expected to hold, and yet the promo seemed much more in line maybe with I don't know, with gay men. It's not even really clear. Like,
no, it seemed very much like an InfoWars type thing, but without the I don't know. It was like if you mix like InfoWars with Teen Vogue. Literally, like that's what this is.
Like exactly what the commentary was, but I'm going to play the promo for you, and it is certainly strange. It doesn't exactly seem like the prototypical alpha male idea of Tucker's audience. So take a look at this to start with.
Although it was really curious to me that like there was like ear to third ear, men are dying, and then like no other like interstitial text until the end. I thought that was weird.
Yeah. So there's like there was like a naked guy with like a light on his testicles. And then now there's like half naked guys exercising.
Once a society collapses, then.
You know, it's funny. You're allowed to say like half naked guys exercising, but if like girls were similarly dressed, then like you couldn't say that they were half naked. That's interesting.
Once a society
sexism, my guy.
You're in hard times. Well, hard iron sharpens iron, as they say, and those hard times inevitably produce men who are tough, men who are resourceful, men who are strong enough to survive.
This feels like one of those
Mr.
like
Pizza
IE.
said in the chat, and I'm late.
You're good, man. You're good, man. It's a vibe. You can always go back and rewatch. This is like an FX show that'll be next day on Hulu. But this reminds me a lot of those like IE like documentary-esque things that you see on like broadcast TV on like Saturdays.
And then they go on to re-establish order, and so the cycle begins again.
The End of Men is the name of it, and it all. If you told me, David, check out this satire of a Fox News special about masculinity, and you showed me
Mr.
that, I'd go,
Pizza
wow, that's a really funny
said in the
satire.
chat,
But it's
you gotta
real.
be reacting
So,
to YTP later.
Yeah, that was weird. That felt weird to me too.
And
Yes, I
there
will.
was a fitness expert brought on to explain how to raise testosterone levels in men, and the topic comes up of testicle tanning your testicles.
You saw in the clip.
I like how we like found all the same clips.
If you want to optimize and take it to another level, expose yourself to red light therapy.
Yes.
And the Juve that we were using in the documentary, there's a massive amount
Which
of
is testicle tanning.
It's testicle tanning, but it's also full body red light therapy, which has.
And again, like, I don't know whether or not to laugh because I have no idea, like, the
Mr.
legitimacy
Pizza
of this.
said in the chat,
Like, I have no
my
idea
goodness, I'ma be sending
how good or
YTP
bad,
for
like,
you, my dude.
is this actually legit or not? I have no
massive
idea.
amount of benefits, and there's so much data out there that isn't being picked up on or covered.
So obviously half the viewers right now are like, what? That's testicle tanning? That's crazy. But my view is, okay, testosterone levels like crash and nobody says anything about it. That's crazy. So why is it crazy to seek solutions?
It's not crazy to seek solutions, and I think I was recently exposed to a term called bromeopathy, and I think there's a lot of people out there right now that don't trust the mainstream information.
Bromeopathy sounds like something for like people for like white dudes who like really, really, really want to be into like the essential oil stuff. But they
Mr.
feel like if they
Pizza
did it, they would be gay.
said in the chat,
That's what it is.
for the YTPs
Yeah.
you react,
Now,
I'd
I wouldn't
react to
call
the
it
ones being sent
bromeopathy.
today so
I
we
think
can
what
stay
he's
in
looking
order.
for is bromeopathy, like homeopathy. Either way, it's not very funny. Now, to be clear, red light therapy for testosterone.
No, it literally, like, does it not seem like something that, like, guys, like, men are just like, oh, I want to do essential oils, but that'd be gay. I'm going to do brometherapy.
The mainstream information.
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't call it bromeopathy.
The
I think
bromeopathy.
what he's looking for is bromeopathy, like homeopathy. Either way, it's not very funny. Now, to be clear,
Dude, it's funny because it's cringe, dude. Like,
red light therapy for testosterone is being studied, and it might do something or it might not. But this isn't even a doctor. This is a guy branded a fitness professional, and the entire thing is so bizarre. And they always bring in this undertone: we can't trust the official stuff. What we're being told can't be believed. So therefore, you got to start tanning your balls, bro. And the next guest afterwards was Kid Rock, the right-wing musician, and he's
He's
Kid
not a
Rock
right-wing
was
musician,
like,
is he?
Is this all a joke? That's when you know it's weird, when even Kid Rock can't take it seriously.
Ladies and gentlemen. So our cameraman,
stop.
I think
Stop.
Tom Fox is in your house right now.
He is. Dude, stop. Testicle tanning. Come on. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything that good in a long time.
Open your mind, Bobby.
I'm starting a punk rock band, and it's called...
I won't say, from this interview, David's face is hilarious. From like this clip here, it sounds like Tucker wasn't even 100% sold on the idea. He was more like, "Hey, consider it. Why does it seem so strange and like weird to consider it? Like, just consider it."
Called testicle tanning. That's the...
Like he seems more upset at like just missing it out right than accepting it.
I'm starting a
Mr.
punk
Pizza
rock band, and it's
said in the
called
chat,
Testicle Tanning.
This
That's
is
the
gonna
end of
be a
it.
good Travis Jackman video to YGP.
Oh yeah.
I think you'll be
This is-
massively successful. But I mean, don't you think at this point, when so many of the therapies, the paths they've told us to take, have turned out to be dead ends that have really hurt people?
Why is Kid Rock being interviewed about this? Like,
Also,
Kid
what?
Rock
Wait,
turned
I
out to
missed
be-
that. What dead ends is he talking about?
Point when so many of the therapies, the paths they've told us to take, have turned out to be dead ends that have
What? I'm not familiar with that. I don't know what he's talking about there. That's
really hurt
interesting.
people.
Why is Kid Rock being interviewed about this? Like, Kid Rock doesn't know anything about media literacy. Kid Rock doesn't know anything about medicine. It's a crazy premise to bring on Kid Rock to comment.
Well, I think he's on to talk about masculinity. He's not on to talk about this specifically. And Kid Rock was the one who was like, whoa, that earlier segment was crazy. And Tucker was like, it wasn't really that crazy. Is it like consider it, bro? So I don't think that's a little bit of a stretch there on David
On
Packman's
Testicle
part.
Tanning Fitness Pro.
Why wouldn't open-minded people seek new solutions?
I don't know what the hell's going on in this world. I'm not even sure if I understood that question, but some days I just want to stop.
Exactly. No, he didn't. Kid Rock doesn't even understand the question that Tucker Carlson is asking him. Now, let's interject some reality here. A good question is, are the premises even true? Are testosterone levels decreasing? Now, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
But it's not
Mr.
exactly
Pizza
clear why or what
said
it
in the
means.
chat.
So
You
there's been a
newbie
bunch of
question.
studies
Have you got
done
any
over
crypto earnings
several
in your
decades,
Exodus wallet?
and it
Just
does
curious,
appear
because
as
trying to
though
find a legit
testosterone
CR
levels
Pito
are
mining site is
Hold on, I
almost
gotta-
impossible these days.
levels
Hold on, I gotta-
decreasing. Now, the answer is yes.
Let's see. Hold on, I'll get to that.
It's
but
not
hold on.
exactly clear why.
I do
or
want to make
what
sure I
it
can hear.
means. So there's been a bunch of studies done over several decades, and it does appear as though testosterone levels are decreasing in men at a given age. Like, we know about over time for an individual, as one ages, testosterone levels decrease. But there is something different going on, which is men of a particular age today seem to have slightly lower testosterone levels than men of the same age at some period in the past. So it appears to be decreasing. Then the question is why?
Yes.
And the cause is not actually known, but there's a bunch of different ideas.
There
One
are different.
aspect of-
It seems like there are different causes, and they all are contributing. One of the major causes that that people have found, of course, he's not going to bring this up, is I believe it was soy, specifically being raised on soy milk rather than breast milk is a big factor to have heard. Just soy in general, also continuing to consume soy, which I do, because like honestly, like I don't care. I'm not like a big like testosterone bro. Like I just want to do what I want to do, so it's like fine. But like soy is known to be like the primary like decreaser of testosterone, and some have said that like things like wine can also like decrease your testosterone, and radiation from phones and things can also decrease. I don't know about all the radiation stuff, but at least the soy and the wine, it's known that those things can to some extent decrease testosterone. But soy, being raised on it at younger ages, is the most
same age at
effect
some period
on
in the past.
like having it like causing you to have low testosterone.
So it appears to be decreasing. Then the question is why? And the cause is not actually known, but there's a bunch of different ideas. One aspect of this could be external toxins and something environmental. We know that there's lots of products out there that have endocrine disruption potential. And we know certain things can affect female fertility, so there could be things in the environment that
Who's he
affect
talking
men's
about? Is he talking
testosterone
about the
levels.
radiation
That's
thing
one
here?
possibility. Another piece appears to be untreated depression. We have pretty good data that untreated depression pushes down testosterone levels. We have both stigma around mental health treatment in the United States, as well as lack of access to mental health treatment in the United States. You don't treat depression. If depression decreases testosterone, you would expect to see decreased testosterone. Obesity is very high in the United States, and moderate obesity seems to diminish testosterone due to
I didn't know that. And one thing that's interesting is, you know, I mentioned wine. I mentioned soy. I wonder if really these underlying issues are like those things, wine, soy, lead to these causes that David Pakman's talking about, and that's why you're seeing the decrease, and also why you can't pinpoint like, oh, it's just the soy, just the wine. Well, it's like, because the correlation isn't like 100% 1-to-1. If you drink wine, you're gonna be like have like low testosterone. Like that's not how it works. Insulin resistance associated reductions in the sex hormone binding globulin. Okay, so that may be, obesity may be a factor here. Men with diabetes are more likely to have low testosterone. It's not clear whether it's a cause-effect correlation, causation. So there is an issue, and it's being explored by medical doctors, a decrease in testosterone. But Tucker's friends, Kid Rock and a fitness professional, aren't going to be the ones to solve it. They're also not the authorities on this. And maybe the most... Nobody said that they are. So... I don't understand why he's pretending that that's what he's saying. Important thing is, they frame this as a cultural issue of sissy men. Like when the right talks about the end of men and decreased testosterone, they're talking about sissy men that don't meet the prototypical emblematic image of what a manly man is supposed to be. What's particularly funny is Tucker doesn't meet that standard either, right? I mean, I don't care about these standards and these ideas. That's interesting. But Tucker, as the privileged sort of, I think dandy might be the word that's applied. Bow tie wearing. I mean, he had, he doesn't wear bow ties anymore. Interview, he had tasseled. You can even kind of see it, tasseled loafers with no socks. Like he's not the guy that meets. Neither is Trump, right? No. Well, Trump is. There are two things. So, Mr. Pizza, what terrible news do you have? There are two things that sort of like go into this, right? So there's one where it's like there's the physical and the personality aspect of this whole situation. So the personality aspect is what Tucker has, is what Donald Trump has, and that is like, if you're a man, you're like outspoken and you have strongly held convictions. So that's the social thing, and it sounds actually like he's conflating the social thing of like what society is losing in men and the physical thing of what people are losing in men, because you have like the lack of assertion. You have a lack of assertion, and just like not having like strongly held convictions and things like that, not being firm as a person. And then you have people being physically weak, and it seems like he's conflating the two, because you have you do have the very real societal issue of raising men to be weak as people, and then you have the other thing of men being weak physically. One does not meet the other. Like Jack Murphy is a very strong man physically, but he's a very weak individual as a person. So you can't like just take the two and like assume that one leads to the other and vice versa. Like Tucker Carlson, I think, is someone who's like very strong and firm as a person. I might not agree with his convictions, but he is strong and firm as a person, but he's not physically strong. And you can't conflate the two. So that's what's also very strange about this. Now, just as a bonus clip, here's a preview of another upcoming Tucker Carlson special. Ooh. Where he brings on two butchers to talk about the idea that extraterrestrials are mutilating cattle. This is the next special.
What? You have to have the right tools. So you have to have the right knife with the right edge on it, because if you don't have a sharp knife, you're never going to be able to achieve. You might be able to achieve it, but it's going to look like you didn't know what you were doing. So if these animals have been found with their, these pieces surgically removed and, not making a lot of hack marks when you're cutting, somebody knows what they're doing.
Right. So that's it. So assess the difficulty here. So we've heard, well, it must be some satanic cult that has been operating, I guess, for centuries in countries around the world. I hate that this is out of context. I don't know what he's talking about. Neither does David Pakman, so he's going to talk as if he doesn't know what he's talking about, but he's talking about people who's talking about something and he doesn't know what they're talking about. So I don't think David Pakman's going to come up with a good take for this, but this is what I hate about people who post, like, especially companies who have something that they're selling. They post clips out of context when it is not like an out of context thing. Like a lot of Twitch streamers and YouTube streamers have like
their fans do clip channels, and they post like a funny thing here and there. It's like outside of context, but we're talking about like a substantive like argument thing where they're talking about something very specific, and it's helpful to know what the heck are you talking about. When you're mentioning satanic cults, what is the scenario? I don't.
World, but whoever's doing this knows a lot about the anatomy of these animals and has high skill. Is that correct?
Yes, and frankly, butchers with a skill level like ours are becoming less and less frequent in the United States. So even finding a butcher that
God, this is so stupid. So that's the next special.
What?
The bearded.
I don't understand. What's stupid about what he said? Is there a dramatic rise in butchers in the United States? Actually, hold on. Let me see. Let's see. I'm just gonna look up butcher shortage. See if there's a shortage of butchers. There is a shortage of butchers. So he's laughing about something that's literally true. He says that there's a shortage of butchers, and then he's laughing and says that's ridiculous. When you just look it up and you see it's true.
Yes, and frankly, butchers with a skill level like ours are becoming less and less frequent in the United States. So
I understand it's literally true. But this is what happens. I think, and I'm starting to get a grasp of like where David Pacman is here. He seems to be one of the types of people who, you have your own ideology and your perception of how things are and the way that things should be. But then if you come across like somebody saying something that, sort of like conflicts with that, you don't really like take it seriously or consider like if it's true or not. You just brush it off because it doesn't fit your existing like model of what is true and what is not, and you don't want to change your mind. And so he doesn't want to sort of like accept that, hey, maybe there is a butcher shortage, and maybe there's this job that is stereotypically masculine, right? Stereotypically, which is like chopping up meat, and there aren't as many men who are willing to do that. And he doesn't want to even cede anything towards the possibility that as a culture men are becoming stereotypically less masculine. And so anything that like even hints at that, he's just like is laughing at. When in reality, if you look at this specific instance, the whole masculinity argument aside, is there a shortage of butchers? There literally is. So
with a skill level like ours are becoming less and less frequent in the United States. So even finding a butcher that
God, this is so stupid. So that's the next special. The bearded butcher twins or brothers will explain to you how there are cuts being made to cattle.
These are like the machete wielding Hodge twins.
Will explain to you how there are cuts being made to cattle that suggest maybe extraterrestrial origin. Fox News.
Well, that wasn't even in the clip though. So I don't know where you got the extraterrestrial thing from, because they mentioned satanic cults. They didn't say anything about extraterrestrials
Carlson
in that clip.
Specials, which are now airing. One of our long.
That's interesting. Pretty not the best take there, but I mean, there's enough to pick apart that he definitely found something to rip apart there. Okay, let's see. We got this here. It's gonna be fun. 3 million views. I didn't know he was that big. Whoa, he's got 2.4 million subscribers. I used to watch some of this guy's clips on like Instagram and stuff like a couple years ago. I did not know he was so big. Let's see. The best female swimmer in the world.
This is my proudest moment. I've been dreaming of becoming the top female swimmer for 1 year. But getting here wasn't easy.
I am impressed that he found a full piece female bodysuit that fit his body.
I first learned how to swim when I was 7 years old at Boy Scout camp. What might surprise you is I was actually a really slow swimmer at first and stayed a really slow swimmer for the first couple years of my collegiate career. Then I turned 23 and all of a sudden I'm the best swimmer in the women's division. And I can't track exactly what changed. I guess I'm just a late bloomer. Because swimming's been such a big part of my life for so long, it's where my happiness comes from.
Oh, not for being a woman.
I have happiness without penis. I wanna hear that again.
You
can't have happiness without my life for
How do you
So
think
long is where my happiness comes from. You can't have happiness without penis.
That's good. That's good. That's really good. That's really good. But I mean, if that's, but if this is true, then you could theoretically say that men can be happy with or without a relationship, but women cannot, as long as the relationship's with a man.
I've never noticed that before.
You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? Wait, Craig, you've no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
I can hear everything you're saying. It's not too difficult to use things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm reacting to this this video that this guy did. It's called "The Best Female Swimmer in the World."
Okay.
So yeah, there's a funny line in here where he said, "You can't spell happiness without penis."
Oh, that's.
It's
With being the best at something, you always get haters. Like, I don't understand what this controversy is all about. I guess people just don't like it when they see a woman succeeding. I compete in 3 different strokes: freestyle, the butterfly, and the backstroke. You got to be in the pool for hours each day. It's the only way to become the best. I guess I must have drank a lot of water on that lap. Yeah, it's not all easy. Some of the other ladies don't feel comfortable being in the same locker room as me. I'm appalled. I just don't understand why. Like, is this?
And that's one thing about the left wing too. Is like a lot of it's like it's a big lack of empathy. I think this is a parody, but I think it's true that a lot of them are like, I don't understand like why they would be uncomfortable with me. They must be transphobic or something.
I'm appalled. I just don't understand why. Like, is this because I identify as...
Mr. Pizza said, what did I just come back to? I come back after exposing Danny in the comments again to a guy talking about penis. Yeah, you came back to art. To pure art.
Black?
Wait! Wait, what?
I'm appalled. I just don't understand why. Like, is this because I identify as black? These racist women around here. Or maybe they're just intimidated by my sensual femininity. I mean, you know how girls can be. Jealous.
True.
Swimming brings out the divine goddess in me. Get out of the pool. That's for ladies only. Some of my competitors are angry that I tested positive for having XY chromosomes, and I don't know how they got there. Might have had like a tainted supplement or something. But really, I think my competitors are just sore
Wait, I'm streaming.
Hey, ladies.
All right, see you, man.
But really, I think my competitors are just sore losers. Like, hey, ladies, I beat you by 11 minutes fair and square, so get over it. To me, swimming is really an art form that requires a lot of upper body strength. Like, the more of it you have, the more of an advantage you have. Women can most certainly get other women pregnant. I've done it.
What do you have to say about your teammates wanting you off the team?
Yeah, my sore loser teammates, maybe they should get in the pool and train more. The reason why I win all the time is because I'm more dedicated to my training.
We talked to your coach, and he said that your teammates spend the exact same amount of time training in the pool as you.
Well, I work out with weights too. Maybe they should try it. It really helps.
Your coach says they're on the exact same weightlifting routine as you, but he said you bench press 4.5 times more weight than the second strongest athlete. Do you have any idea why that is?
Well, I just don't identify the weights as very heavy. It's pretty simple. It feels so good to come away with the championship. And I want to congratulate second place for being within 9 minutes of me. And I want to thank my sponsors for always having my back. Manscaping, Dollar Beard Club, and Alpha Jockstraps. Now that I'm the top female swimmer, what's next for me? Well, I don't feel like I'm 22 anymore, so I think children's sports is next.
What?
Probably Pee Wee football. I'm actually 10 years old now. Even more than my swimming success, what I'm most proud of is what I'm doing for women's rights. It's kind of like if you've ever seen an injured deer on the side of the road that's just been hit by a car.
No!
And your heart just wants to help
No!
this.
That's also like one of the things that like women don't like. That's
Animal. Well, I'm the one that hit the deer.
Whoa!
What's up, my freedom-loving friend? I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Primal.
Nice. We got a 4-minute long skit and a 2-minute long commercial. Fun. But that's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Let's check the comments. DLL's making ramen. Nice. You should put super spicy stuff in ramen. Like, I don't really. But it was actually right here. Okay, in my ramen, let me put up the camera so that you guys can see. In my ramen, I put in Tony Chicheri's Creole seasoning. And this stuff is amazing. Like, put it in until it gets really, really brown, and it's like amazing. It will literally change your life. It's spicy too, yeah. So that, yeah, it is incredible. You will absolutely love that. I couldn't speak more passionately about Tony Chicheri's Creole seasoning if I was their sponsor, but I'm not their sponsor. But go to walmart.com and buy some Tony Chicheri's Creole seasoning and change your life today. For the better. I should add, for the better. What if I don't have Creole seasoning? What if I don't have Creole seasoning? That's what the Walmart.com is for. You can get it at Walmart. There's also some at the Dollar General that's local here. Let's see. Not to be me out of context again. He's begging me at this point for me to make YTP at this point. Oh goodness. Feel free. One thing is, I need you guys to because I need more content for the clips channel. If you guys could make more clips of me and send them in there, like, that'd be great too. Because I do want to post 3 clips a week, but I just don't have the time to sift through and make the clips. So if you guys could make clips, I would really, really appreciate that.
It's a moving interview.
Oh, but by the way, we have this video here. Apparently this interview was removed from YouTube. And so I was able to find it, and I wanted to watch it and just see what it was about and try to see if I could figure out why it was removed. So here we go. This is Helena Kirshner tells Tucker Carlson why she detransitioned and is now speaking out against pushing children to transition.
It's a moving interview.
There's
a lot more of it in the
this
episode.
is not even like a
on set now. Lena, thanks so much for coming on. There's something so sad about that. First of all, thank you for speaking up, because your voice does matter, I think, in this conversation. But you felt what every young woman I've ever met felt at a certain age, which is uncomfortable with yourself. And it feels like you were exploited at that moment of weakness.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you said, it's completely normal for not only young girls, but...
What kind of title is detransitioner? That's like the weirdest title to, like, call yourself. That's like me being interviewed by Fox News and they call me as a, like, Christian convert. Like, detransition, like converting, like to be a Christian. Like, I'm a Christian now. Converting and becoming a Christian is something that I have done, but it's not something I continue to do. Detransitioner, what does she, like, detransition herself like 5 times a week? Was she like going like detransition people? She go across the country with her little microphone, detransitioning people. Like, what does it mean to be a detransitioner?
But often young boys too, to feel uncomfortable with themselves.
I will say conversion therapists aspire to be the, as recognized detransitionists as Helen Kirshner here.
And young boys too, to feel uncomfortable with themselves, uncomfortable with their body. But we have this ideology that is especially prevalent online that says that if you have those feelings, that means you're trans. I mean, there are literally people who say, if
literally, that ideology is literally the most sexist thing you could say.
you don't even like your...
Other than that, women belong in the kitchen because, men belong in the kitchen too.
Your voice on a recording, that's a sign of gender dysphoria, and you need to go see a medical professional because you're trans.
Talk about taking advantage of people. So how do you, and this is all explained in greater depth in the documentary.
Also, I will say, maybe it's just me, but I feel like people who say women don't belong in the kitchen just like grew up with mothers who couldn't cook.
And this is all explained in greater depth in the documentary, but how do you feel now at 23?
Like, it's not, okay, I know I'm getting on a tangent, but I don't care. I know it's not inherently bad for women to cook. Just to say that, like, because you're a woman, you should cook. That's like, not good. But like, I don't know. Just a little thought I had
in the documentary. But how do you feel now at 23, looking back on what happened?
Okay, I said, what's up?
I feel honestly grateful for the experience because it's taught me a lot about the world and about myself, but I really feel afraid for these other young girls like myself who they might not be. I consider myself lucky that I was able to get out of it unscarred really medically, but there's so many young people who can't say the same, and psychologically as well. I mean, it's just devastating to, especially from a young age, be lied to by adults at school and by medical professionals and told that your body is wrong, you need to change it, you need to get hormones, you need to get surgeries. That's devastating for a young person. So I'm just really concerned
so many people are being
for
lied to.
younger girls and boys like I once was, being led down this path and being hurt by it.
It's a failure of male leadership, of adult leadership.
One thing that really annoys me is that like this whole thing is going to derail all the progress that the LGBT movement has made in sort of like getting society to like not hate people who are LGBT and like not hate people like for who they're attracted to, because you have like the whole entire transgender thing, which is like destroying not just the lives of a lot of people who do transition, but also destroying the lives, or not the lives, but like women's rights, and like eradicating like a female only spaces. And then on top of that, people are using that to go even more extreme into I don't know, just like all sorts of crazy things. Because if everything's based on what you identify as, then what do you have? Then you have like things like the map community. Then you have just like all sorts of just crazy things that are even worse, to the point where parents are finally recognizing that this is a slippery slope that is going to damage their children. But I think unfortunately, because there are all these harmful qualities of the LGBT agenda, some of the good things, like, not hating people for who they're attracted to, are also going to be wiped away at the same time. We're going to throw the baby out with the bathwater on this one.
And it does seem like some of the steps are medically irreversible.
Absolutely. I mean, there's all sorts of, the White House actually just put out a chart yesterday that says that some of these steps are reversible or partially reversible, but that's such an oversimplification of the truth. I mean, when you go on a cross-sex hormone, like, that's going to give you not just physical changes, but psychological experiences that you can't just act like they never happened. You can't just take it back. And especially with surgeries, a breast implant after a mastectomy is not the same thing as never having your breast taken off in the first place. So there's a lot of young women who are going through that, who had a double mastectomy at 16, 17, 18 years old, or even younger, that happens, who, there's nothing you can really do to put that feeling of oneness and safety in your body back.
It's heartbreaking. I hope people are hearing you with open minds, with tolerance. Are they?
There's a lot of people out there, especially parents, who are really thankful for what I'm saying, because they see that their young girl or their young boy is going through this, and the school is telling them, you need to affirm them, they're trans, you need to transition them. All their doctors are telling them, you need to transition them. And these parents, they know that their child should not be having these cosmetic procedures.
Yeah, like, it's really cool to see, like, parents kind of standing up in defense of their kids. That's what's been really great to see. It is really seeming like parents are the front lines for changing things culturally. Not pundits, not all these other whack people, not politicians, but parents, and that's really cool to see.
There's a lot of parents who are really...
Because also, I trust parents more than pundits, and well, I don't know, more than pundits, I guess. Well, it depends on the parent. But I trust, in general, I trust parents more than pundits. I trust pundits more than politicians. Parents more than politicians, so...
Thankful. There are other young people who are really thankful that I'm saying what I'm saying, but obviously, you have the trans activists and the trans community that exhibits some very unhealthy kind of cult-like dynamics who are really upset about this.
Man, you are so articulate and thoughtful at 23. It's
Thank you.
It's remarkable.
Wait, he said that she's articulate? What a racist thing to say.
Remarkable.
Thank you.
People who have suffered like you have sometimes get deeper.
Yeah, you learn a lot. Like I said, I learned a lot.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Appreciate
it. Great video, but do not appreciate the racism at the end. Okay. All I don't want. Should I watch this? I should watch this because this is gonna be a dumpster fire. This is gonna be a dumpster fire here. I'm gonna unmute the TTS so I can hear some of what you guys are saying. But I will be rewinding and going back and making sure that I catch everything that's being said. Let's see. I put ranch seasoning in mine for a little tangy flavor. That's nice, but the spicy flavor is better. Ranch seasoning, I couldn't imagine what ranch seasoning would taste like in ramen. I should try that sometime then. So Griffin not to be reacting to YTP. Yes, I'll be reacting to YTP after this, actually. I'm actually not going to be watching this version because... Oh no, this is the right version. Because it's literally just the same video, I think. The length is very similar. And Sim said, what is up, my dudes? Hey! I think I did say hi to ISM, right? I think I did. Well, anyways, if I didn't, hi ISM. DJL said, I have the weirdest theory ever.
Oh no, it's the Michael Knowles David Pakman interview.
This is gonna be fun to watch. What's your theory? Let's see here. Mr. Pizza says, I can make clips of your YTP reactions, newbie boy. Nice. I appreciate that. Can you put them in the Discord or like upload them as private on the channel? That'd be very much appreciated. And also, if anybody else has clips of mine specifically, I think one thing that people would appreciate going to the channel for is clips of me out of context, but not like a YTP, just like out of context clips of me. Because then people could then go to my channel, find clips that they could use for YTPs, and then just like basically use that as a repository.
Said in the chat. Actually, newbie boy, I do have clips
ASM
for
said,
you.
I once saw a Dr. Phil episode where a mother groomed her 6-year-old feminine son to believe he's trans. She even encouraged him to have transition surgery pre-wedding. That's insane. Could you throw that in the chat? DJ said, what does that mean? Articulate? It means that you can speak well, I think is what it means. Mr. B said, racist things say, geez, how many kids does he have? I said some, I want to know it's the Mahono's interview. Yep. Very cool. Okay.
This clip has gone viral. This clip, we played it yesterday. Let's just play it again. Marsha Blackburn, Republican senator from Tennessee,
Mr. Pizza said in the chat, I can upload as private to the channel. I will title it, add the description, and make it private. Then you can upload when you want. I'll censor titles with swearing if you wish.
Okay, it sounds good. Yeah, when I can go through and you don't need to censor the titles because I can go in and change the description and title for like however I want it to be. But just you guys making the videos and uploading them as private is super helpful.
Said in the chat,
Jackson.
I have not seen the full interview, so this should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this is the full interview and not just a clip or a segment.
From Tennessee asked Ketanji Jackson, can you give a definition of the word woman?
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Oh, what a gotcha question. My goodness. How is she supposed to answer this? Because we don't know what people are going to think women are in 2 years. And I don't want to be canceled.
Can I provide a definition? No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context.
So
I'm not a biologist.
The meaning of the word woman is so unclear and controversial that
Mr.
you
Pizza said in the chat, the thing with not including the full YTP title in a reaction video is it won't pop up for people looking for the reaction.
She can. She's not a biologist.
What about putting it in the description?
This clip has gone viral. It's gone viral in part because this gender issue has taken over the country.
Also, I like talking about, you guys know I like talking about setups and things. One thing that annoys me is these people, all the people on the Daily Wire, except for Brett Cooper, which props to her for this, but their mics are fake. And they use lapel mics. And also, I noticed that a guy from Blaze TV does this too. What's it called? I think it's like Fearless whatever, with the guy from FS1 who left.
Mr. Pizza
he
said in the chat, the title is the most important thing.
But he has a fake mic too. Don't use fake mics and then have a lapel.
Ella had an alibi with the initials KLT.
Like,
her victim's first name.
just use a lapel and get rid of the mic. It's taking up unnecessary space. It looks cooler if you don't. It looks cooler if you can't see the mic. It always looks cooler if you can't see the mic.
Mr. Pizza
like,
said in the chat, censoring
does
it
this
is fine as it
look
will
cooler
still
to
show
you?
up.
No, it's not cool.
Said in the chat.
So like,
The Daily
no,
Wire
please
exposed
don't
by
put in a
newbie.
mic in front of the screen if it's unnecessary.
because this gender issue has taken over the country. You see it with the NCAA controversy. There's a man named Will Thomas who beat all the girls in the girls swimming match, and he gets the trophy, and everyone's supposed to be okay with that. You see it with the bathroom bills. You see it with all sorts of new legislation. And conservatives are flabbergasted by this. We think this is so beyond caricature. It's so beyond absurdity. But I am worried sometimes that we are not giving the best argument for the other side, or that we simply don't understand what the other side is saying. So, in
I
the
like how
interest of actually
it's just coming up has a picture of Ketanji Brown Jackson. It's like she's going to be the next guest.
Hearing out the other side, I'm very pleased to bring on David.
Oh, there we go. Ketanji Brown Jackson, African Hebrew Israelites. One thing that's funny is nobody calls them African Hebrew Israelites. Everyone calls them Black Hebrew Israelites. The fact that he's calling them African Hebrew Israelites is like hilarious, and I don't think he'd be doing that if he was not white. But I think another funny thing too. Well, I mean, I don't know. He lives kind of Italian, but I think one thing that's also funny is like, I wonder how that play out retrospectively, because that Brooklyn shooter was a Black Hebrew Israelite.
That was an unflattering frame.
Who is the host of the David Pakman Show. It's a nationally syndicated.
Why isn't he in front of his cool studio? Like the green screen and everything. I wish that he was like doing this from the studio, because it looks very cool.
Radio show. I'm always really grateful to progressives who come on this show. We invite lots of them on. Very often they say no.
Is he a progressive? He doesn't seem progressive. He doesn't seem that far left. He just seems very establishment.
Sometimes they come on. So
very
just to make sure we're not
left-wing,
strawmanning
not
anything,
progressive.
Let's bring on David. David, thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's a unique pleasure to be here,
Said
Michael.
in the
Thank
chat.
you.
David Pakman travels a
Also,
lot.
you got to give props to David Pakman for just being successful as a left winger. It's not easy. The internet, lefties don't really blow up on the internet very often. Also, I will say, I wish David Pakman had a light in front of his face here. It would help him look a little bit better. Like, look, it's part of one aspect of Michael Knowles' setup that looks better than David Pakman's setup. And one thing about David Pakman's usual setup that this setup just doesn't have.
So, David, you saw the clip. You've been watching the Ketanji Jackson hearings. Am I crazy, or should a twice Harvard-educated nominee, federal judge, nominee for the Supreme Court, who is a woman, be able to define what a woman is?
I can't say if you're crazy. That would be for a mental health professional.
For my doctor.
You're either dishonest or ignorant, and we can maybe figure out which. So here's the deal. I mean, I'm kind of, we're just meeting each other. I'm sort of kidding around, but here's the deal. There are no instances where, when issues come before the Supreme Court, it comes down to the dictionary definition of a word. When it comes to who counts as a woman, or what is discrimination, or what is negligence, it's always in very narrow circumstances where dictionary definitions do almost nothing for you. So she was very smart not to play into these kind of rhetorical black holes, because whatever definition she
I don't understand. Like,
Michael,
what he's saying doesn't make sense. I don't understand why it's smart to not say what a woman is, because let's say that he's right, okay? And that, like, it never comes down to these, like, dictionary definitions, then that makes it even, like, easier to just answer the question.
Kind of rhetorical black holes, because whatever definition she gives, Michael, she then is going to be pushed into some corner with some case or article
Mr.
or book
Pizza
she hasn't read.
said in the chat. What is a woman? A woman is a human being.
Okay, then I'm a woman.
Pushed into some corner with some case or article or book she hasn't read, by the way, and there's no upside to it. So if we're just having a good faith conversation,
I mean, I understand there not being an upside, but there's a downside not answering the question, which is like, she looks like a fool. She looked like a fool when she refused to answer the question. She still looks like a fool, and I don't think anyone really takes her seriously, for her, like, intellect at least. You know, her skin color and private parts probably, but not for who she is as a person. Well, maybe for who she is as a person, but not like for like her smarts and intelligence. But the downside was there was no upside, but there's definitely a downside, and she paid the price for that in the court of public opinion, which granted doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter what the people think. It matters what the political elites think, and they were cool with it. So.
She did the right thing. Almost 60% of Americans believe she's qualified, and she is. And that's really all there is to it.
Almost 60%? That's
60% of Americans believe she's qualified, and she is. And that's really all there is to it. It's kind of boring.
Well, I agree with her. I don't agree with you that it's boring. I think it's one of the most interesting questions in the country, that we're now at a point where we can no longer even define man or woman. But I do agree with you on strategy. She's in a very tough spot because her side of the aisle, and she's relatively leftist, even by the standards of the Democratic Party. So on her side of the aisle, there is a new definition of woman. Well, they haven't given the definition of woman, but it's not the old definition of woman, which is a person who's not a man. That is out because of the transgender movement. And so she knows that if she gives this new definition, which is a woman is...
Oh, that's a terrible definition.
Said in the chat. I would assume every single Supreme Court hearing has clear indications of the gender of the testifiers. If there is a case about trans discrimination, I can't imagine it gets past county court.
It depends. It depends. But I think you do need to have clear identifiers. Yeah. And yeah, I do agree with that. And again, Michael Knowles here with a terrible definition of women, which is like, if you're like, not being a man makes you a woman. It's a dumb argument. I mean, I understand it.
Transgender movement. And so she knows.
And in large part, it's a good rule of thumb, but it's not complete or comprehensive. Just refer to the
which is a person who's not a man. That is out because of the transgender movement. And so she knows that if she gives this new definition, which is a woman is, I don't know, a woman is someone who says that he or she is a woman, that's going to alienate, I think, the vast majority of Americans. If she,
I will say,
DJLL reacts
later on.
Said in the chat. Can I say my theory?
Yeah. I will say later on, she did insinuate that what makes you a woman, like we're talking to Ted Cruz, she insinuated that what makes you a woman is basically like, saying you're a woman, believing you're a woman, and being female presenting for a substantial period of time. That's what she insinuated.
She gives the old definition that a woman is a female.
DJLL reacts. Said in the chat. Carla had an alibi with the initials KLT. Her victim's first name initials are in order from the last to first. Kristen Leslie Tammy. Did she get that idea from the victim's name or what? That's my theory.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know much about Carla, but that sounds very plausible. It sounds like something a serial killer would do.
Male human being, and a female is of or denoting the sex that can bear children and reproduce.
And has a serious Carla problem.
I don't know if I call it a problem, but she's very, very interested in Carla.
Produce eggs, for instance. She knows that will alienate her base, and she knows that now is apparently controversial in the law after the Bostock decision, after other.
And also, I like how all the definitions that Michael Knowles is using, they're all the bad arguments that David Pakman brought up on his show, which are they're just as bad as his arguments for defining what a woman is, but they are still bad, and I think it's going to leave Michael Knowles at a rhetorical disadvantage here in this interview.
Bear children and reproduce and produce eggs, for instance. She knows that will alienate her base, and she knows that now is apparently.
Said in the chat, you have an addiction to Naruto. We're even.
He also has an addiction to DMing me on Discord every other day, asking if I'm
controversial in the law after the Bostock decision, after other transgender decisions. So I understand the strategy, but what about the law? What about the definition? You say she shouldn't be quoting the dictionary. Well, fine. Shouldn't she at least be able to give the legal definition of a woman? Shouldn't she,
a woman,
have some sense of what that is? I'm not a meteorologist. I can tell you if it's raining.
Yeah, there is no legal definition of a woman, and that's exactly the point. The point here is when it comes to the court.
I don't know if there's a legal definition of the word baseball bat.
DJ
that doesn't mean that if I was gonna go to Ketanji Brown and be like, what is a baseball bat? And she's like, I can't tell you that. I'm not a baseball coach. It's exactly the same, but it sounds ridiculous because it's detached from the very polarizing discussion. But it's it's easier to see the ridiculousness when you make a comparison to something that's very similar, but is detached from what causes it to be so polarizing.
The court is in a position, or will be in a position, or might be in a position to decide for the purposes of a particular set of facts based on a claim brought by someone who appeals a case about these issues. And so it's literally irrelevant to.
I do think that defining women based on pregnancy and childbirth is kind of sexist, since so many women feel pressured to have children when they want to be CF. Also, since there are women who are barren.
Okay, I think the first part of that just doesn't make sense.
DJLL reacts.
That's really.
In the chat.
I feel like the first part of that argument is kind of dumb. To say that defining women based on pregnancy and childbirth is sexist. If you're saying, I think it's funny because, you can't define women based on being able to have children because that's sexist. Why is it sexist? Oh, because it's something that women can do. Oh, that's interesting. And also defining women as like, the sex that is able to like reproduce and create a human inside of their body. It doesn't mean that they need to. See, so like the whole thing of like women feeling pressured to have children is different than defining women by being able to have children. It's a very different thing.
He has so much to work with.
It's a very, very different thing. But the latter part definitely makes sense. It definitely tracks, which is also since there are women who are barren. And that's why I say cite the chromosomes. Don't cite being able to have children because a lot of women can't have children.
A case about these issues. And so it's literally irrelevant to her job as a Supreme Court justice. And so again, we can have a cultural discussion.
If it's irrelevant, that makes it even like that makes it even more fine to answer. Like Amy Coney Barrett, I think is what her name was. Amy Coney Barrett, right? People were asking her about like how many kids she has. And like what it is to be like a wife and a mother, because they were like people want to give her softball questions, or people want to attack her for being a housewife, respectively. That has nothing to do with her job, but it still is a question that she was asked. Those are questions that she was asked, and those are questions that she answered. So it's completely fine, like to answer questions that you deem are irrelevant
outside of the context of the Supreme Court. In the Senate's job in evaluating, is she qualified?
Also, Michael knows. David Pacman knows that it's relevant. If he didn't think it was relevant, he would not be this defensive.
Supreme Court, in the Senate's job in evaluating, is she qualified? It's an irrelevant question, and by her qualifications, she's more qualified than any of the 9 justices currently on the court.
Chat. I have a criminal in my family.
Oh, I didn't know you were a criminal.
Huh. There's no way to deny that.
I think you can, because I think all of the 9 justices on the court can tell you what a woman is. And so I know we're getting back.
Because they've never been asked to do that. No, nobody's ever been asked to define words in this way during hearings. So you could speculate that, but they've never been asked.
Okay, but I've never been asked if I was trans. That doesn't mean that I can't answer the question,
So
they've never been asked.
Impossible
I agree, but I've never been, but I as a gambling man, I would bet the farm.
Said in the chat, I am not a criminal, lol.
Okay.
That Justice Alito could tell you what a woman is, but you're right. They've never been asked because it's never been controversial before. But I want to get to a point you just made. You said there's no legal definition of a woman, but there must be, because there are legal protections specifically for women. So if we don't know what a woman is, then
no, just that doesn't mean, because that is all based on the legal definition. It's not based on the it's all based on the dictionary definition. It's not based on the legal definition.
And Title IX. And Title IX is quite controversial.
Mr. Pizza faith conversation, or one that's in some way productive,
You're saying you and I, or you're saying
what's up?
You and I, yeah. I don't know if listen. The Republican senators obviously didn't want to have a good faith conversation. Cool. I was talking about you and I, Michael.
Yes, well, I do want to. I mean, this is why I'm granting you you're making the point on political strategy. I totally grant you that. That was the right move for her to make if she wants to avoid
relevance.
But then bring up Title IX. I mean, there are legal protections for women. This is coming before the court. It's come before the court in the last term. There are going to be a lot more cases coming before the court coming up. It seems extraordinarily relevant that we know what this woman thinks of these issues and of a basic question of biology and human nature. What is a woman? I mean, I don't think that's a bad faith question for the senators.
Yeah, it's not a bad faith question.
No, it's not necessarily bad faith, but we have to be able to, what I hope are reasonable people, Michael, understand that in the context of her role as a Supreme Court justice, it doesn't come down to a biological opinion. Like, is that
why not?
Grant that piece. Well, it's true that for what the Supreme Court decides, these are narrow issues where when it comes to Obamacare's constitutionality, which Amy Coney Barrett never, refused to weigh in on, or with all of these things, these are really narrow legal decisions, and there is no way in which a dictionary definition of terms does anything for us.
Well, it might do something, but I grant your point a little bit, except that Marsha Blackburn didn't ask for the biological definition or the dictionary definition. That's what Ketanji Jackson added. She said, I'm not a biologist. But all Marsha Blackburn asked was, just tell me what a woman is from a legal perspective, a constitutional perspective, a philosophical, I mean, whatever. That's
literally not what Marsha Blackburn said. I would encourage you to pull the clip.
It literally is,
the time at which she said that.
She said she didn't mention biology and she didn't mention the dictionary. She said, what's
But you just asserted that she said she wanted the legal and philosophical.
No,
I didn't say that. I said I just said Marsha Blackburn asked for the definition, any sort of definition that Ketanji Jackson could give of woman. She didn't specify biology.
Now you're backtracking.
I'm not backtracking at all.
No! David Pakman is falling apart, and this is so painful to watch. You have to pay attention to what the person is saying to you in a debate. He wasn't doing too badly. He's running off of like a faulty ideology, and that put him at a disadvantage. But he did have the advantage of Michael Knowles making sort of like fallacious arguments in support of his point, and he was doing kind of well. But you've got to get your facts straight when you're in a debate, man. It's sad. That was sad.
Any sort of definition that Ketanji Jackson could give of woman. She didn't specify biology.
Now you're backtracking.
I'm not backtracking at all.
It's dishonest now.
I'm not back. How am I backtracking?
No. Hold on a second. Let's be clear. 30 seconds ago, you said Marsha Blackburn didn't ask for the biological. She asked for the legal.
No.
Let me finish the sentence.
Okay, but you're misrepresenting what I said.
No, I'm not. I would encourage the audience to rewind.
Don't you love it when political commentators talk over each other?
No, what I like better is like when political commentators talking on top of each other. I'm talking over the political commentators, and then the chat is talking on top of me. That's my favorite. Oh my goodness! I love you guys. You guys are great.
Okay, but you're misrepresenting what I said.
Yes, he is.
No, I'm not. I would encourage the audience to rewind.
I would encourage that. I would encourage that as well.
But can I even get it out?
Sure.
Or is I mean, it's okay. The problem with what you just did, Michael, is you just said Blackburn asked for the legal definition, and I said no, she didn't. You said no, that's true. She actually just asked for the
I'm sorry. Well, then if either you misheard or it seemed that I misspoke, I'll be very clear. Marsha Blackburn just said, what's the definition of a woman? She didn't specify anything else. Now, you then said that biology has no place here, or that the dictionary definition has no place, but that's not what Marsha Blackburn asked for. She just asked a simple question.
Alex Niss,
in these Supreme Court hearings,
you're still alive.
The senators can ask the questions however
much to
my
surprise.
And the nominees can answer them however they want.
Or not answer them.
My opinion is, this is my opinion, and you can have a different one, and that's the great thing about America, Michael. My opinion is that if you're interviewing for the job of Supreme Court justice, it's reasonable to assume the questions have a legal bearing as to your role on the court. Given that, Judge Jackson was right to understand the point of the question is to back her into a rhetorical corner about legal definition.
Being so defensive. What's he and Ketanji Brown? They're so defensive about this. I find that fascinating and frankly hilarious. They're scared to say what a woman is because they're afraid of the rhetorical implications of that.
And she was right to say, it's not something I can answer. These are narrow issues when they come before the court, and there's no reason that she would ask such a question.
Said in the chat.
Do you know this guy Jesse
Merrick,
Lee Peterson?
region
Have you
letter
heard of
U,
him?
I know
region
Jesse
letter
Lee
S.
Peterson,
You know, when I was
Mr.
on with
Pizza
Jesse,
said
he
in the
said to
chat.
me, David,
Alice
define
here.
what love is
Mr. Pizza
and what a
said
man
in the
is.
chat.
And it's a
This is the
really
most people
common
in a not a
rhetorical
newbie
technique
stream
for
ever.
the bad faith right.
Mr.
To
Pizza.
start
Hold on, wait, I want
said in the
to read the chat.
New record.
This is, I think you might be right. This is a pretty high number of concurrent viewers. Like what do we have? Let me check it. We have 5 people in the live chat. I think this is awesome.
He said to me, David, define what love is and what a man is, and it's a really common rhetorical technique for the bad faith right.
Said in the chat.
It's not a bad faith argument. Look, I was in an ethics class last week. I think literally a week ago. And they were like, "What is love?" And people came up with all sorts of like questions of like answers to that question. That was not a bad faith question. It was literally from an ethics perspective, talking about what is love, and then moving on forward and being like, okay, well, what does it mean to act out of love? It's not bad faith to define what it is that you will be making decisions on later. That's not bad faith. It's just good practice.
To start with, just pick a word and define
in the
it
chat.
and use it to back someone into
high
a
number
rhetorical.
when you did a Minecraft stream back
Oh
in
yeah.
December.
Oh yeah, true. Because I also had some people from my old hall watching me as well.
Corner. It's a waste of time, Michael. Let's talk about real issues, please.
Okay. Well, I think that as a philosophical issue, but certainly as a legal issue too, the definition of a woman does matter, has mattered recently, and will matter soon. But I at least agree with you on the strategy. You have not convinced me of Judge Jackson's
what is
good
love?
faith
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't
confirmation
hurt me.
hearing.
No
but
more.
you have convinced me that she is a wise politician and that she's playing her hand the best that she can.
DJ
Before I
LL
let you go,
reacts.
David, I know we're like way over.
Said in the chat. Please. Yes.
I am really not playing the game of giving you some impossible thing to define. But since the question of woman is up in the air,
here we
everyone's
go.
arguing
Here
over
we
what
go.
it means these days. Do you have either you
Oh my
yourself
goodness.
or you
I hope
speaking-
he doesn't fumble this. He says 2 minutes, so he probably does. But I hope.
DJ LL reacts.
Because this poor
Said in the
guy,
chat.
like he has good
Chili powder
intentions.
in my ramen.
But he just, he crumbles so easily, just like logically. And it's been kind of painful to watch him in this interview. So
for
I
the
want to see.
progressives, do you have a working
I
definition?
hope he
that you
doesn't
would
fall on
use?
his face on this one.
No,
He
I
might.
don't do, like I told Jesse Lee Peterson, and there's so many, this interview is feeling a lot like that one, interestingly enough. I don't do dictionary, I do politics. And so, no, I don't
Oh, what is politics, David Pacman? Poor
time defining
dude.
words. And here's the, in all seriousness,
Poor
Michael,
dude. Yeah.
Let's now talk philosophically. Really, we're talking, man to man now. Dictionary.
Man to man, are we? Interesting. I wonder what a man is.
Are descriptive, not proscriptive. So
Well, they're
I actually
prescriptive
find
sometimes
it
too.
kneeling-
But yeah. But they can be descriptive. They can be they are descriptive and prescriptive as well, right? The word
by
means this.
by definition, humans decide what to put in the dictionary, right? So they're just these are descriptive.
But they put it there
definitions of
because the
what
words mean
humans
something.
at the time
Yes,
believed.
true.
So.
Yeah, I
Said in
mean,
the chat.
we could go
Yum.
down a tangent on prescriptivism versus descriptivism, and that might be good for a future
I don't know if
appearance.
it's a tangent, but
I know it would be a very good discussion, and I think it would be great to have you back. I truly appreciate your coming on and giving the progressive perspective on this, and I hope to have you back on the show. Where can people find you in the meantime?
DavidPacman.com, and it's been my unbridled pleasure to provide you these insights.
Thank you, David, very much. I appreciate it. I'm glad.
Poor guy. I hope they're eating him up in the comments, though.
Mr. Pizza. Said in the
Oh!
chat. You mean if you want, I can get a bunch of clips for your clips channel.
That's good.
setup and
Nathaniel
can set a
Culver
date for it to
said
upload.
Nathaniel Culver said I am not a biologist.
Said in
So
the
woman
chat.
is biologically
That was
determined. Good
wild.
to know. That's good. You see, we're talking man to man now from the guy who will define what a woman is. Priceless. You see, for the record, when David Pacman said, I encourage you guys to rewind the tapes, I did, and Michael Lowe's was completely right the entire time. David Pacman was wrong in being smug and arrogant. See, I'm not going to be forced to define anything just in case you need to change definition in the
Mr.
future
Pizza
to call my
said
political
in the
opponents
chat.
bigoted.
I'm
Exactly,
excited for
yes.
the YTP
How can
reactions? That's gonna
Let's
be
see.
huge.
How can good faith debates be possible without a framework that everyone agrees on? Exactly. honestly, evading the question is what's in bad faith, to be honest. Republican, ask for definition to provide a basis for arguments/statements moving forward. Leftist, that's a waste of time. Let's talk about real issues. More typical running away behavior. Let's see. I don't do dictionary, I do politics. Postmodernism in a nutshell. I don't care about truth, I care about power. Insane. It's crazy. That's really sad. Cause, you know, dude is definitely like he's kind of grifting to the left wing. A left wing that is, you know, absolutely less let's see, a group that's absolutely like less less progressive and far left as him. He is grifting to them because he doesn't want to get canceled. And that I completely understand that. But at the same time, it's just so sad to see because it's just like it's forcing him to abandon like logic and reason and all these other things that are just like so important to have, especially when you're trying to go out and do rhetorical debates.
Said in the chat.
And it just puts you at such a disadvantage.
Agree, there are much bigger debatable issues besides dictionary definitions.
I will agree there will be much bigger debates, much bigger debatable issues besides dictionary definitions. That's true, but there will always be dictionary definition arguments until you actually agree on what it is you're even talking about. Because like I could be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about jujitsu. But if I don't define what jujitsu is, either we're going to be running around in circles talking about things where, from my perspective, we're talking about something completely different than what you're talking about, or we're not even going to be able to have a functional dialogue. You need to define what it is you're talking about before you talk about it. Like that's how it works. Let's see. Okay, all right. I got some videos to react to. Got a couple. Let me see here. And this is nice. Another vlog reaction. Let me see. No, I don't have time to react to this one. So unfortunately, I can't react to the vlog one. But let's see here.
Mr. Pizza said in the chat, YTP time woo.
All right, let's go. His mouth is moving so weird. Wait, hold on. Wait. Hold on. This is YTV Bulldog has a mental breakdown by Mr. Pizza. Oh, nice.
I am the welcome to my channel. I want you guys to come in my butt. I want you guys to give me us. I want not see come
Mr. Pizza said in the chat.
No.
Reaction cam. DJ LL reacts.
Welcome.
Said in the chat.
Hold on, wait.
See the video. Said in
No,
the chat.
wait, I think I saw this before.
See your screen. Mr. Pizza said in the chat. Newbie.
I am Will Dog.
Wait, none of we can't see your screen. You can't see my screen? Oh, I thought I had that set. My bad. I think I've seen this video before. Whoa.
I am the welcome to my channel. I want you guys to come in my butt. I want you guys to give me
So us.
Come to miss my job. Bulldog. Come to here we react to Peppa Pig. Come to in SpongeBob. Welcome.
This is how it works. Also, I just noticed this. His sunglasses still have the sticker on them. It's like, what? Why?
Come to in SpongeBob. Welcome
to the cum zone.
What
is he saying?
I am not Bulldog. I am Will Dog. I am everywhere.
Wait, what is this?
I am everywhere. I have to. Shit. Illogical.
Ism said in the chat. I am working on a Bulldog YTP. He's so funny and there's so many possible creative approaches to this.
Yeah.
I can crack if that's necessary. GW Universe, my cock has got a little longer.
Oh, is that what it does? Okay, now I understand why guys do it.
Fuck you, Danielle Lord. Fuck you, Mr. Pizza. This YTP is a illogical and pants. Stop it!
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's good. I didn't know that he said your guys' name though. Because it seemed like legit. That's kind of crazy. It's very cool. You know, YouTube.com. No, YouTubepoop.com. Oh, hold on.
YouTube poop. Where there's smoke, there's
that weed smell.
Smoke weed every day.
Smoking for
just 2 minutes.
The passenger string tastes delicious. Delicious. Passenger string delicious. The gummy tastes just like
Monster Energy Ultra Watermelon.
delicious. That's how you eat gummies, just like Stephen Carpenter.
What?
It's the job.
What the heck? What the heck?
And you know, everybody looks at flowers. If it smells like bugs, it just smells amazing. Whether it's apples or flowers, always the key.
Are you good? Every clip, he's talking about how great it is to like smoke, but then every clip of him like actually smoking makes it look like he's like dying.
The key.
Like look.
Mr. Pizza said in the chat, I hope newbie gets to the BBTYTP if possible.
Let's see.
If not, there is always
Let's
next
see.
time.
This whole time he's always like dude. Oh.
When you guys first started out, you guys were pretty close to beating.
Our first record was all shit.
That might not be a bad thing, though, right?
Chat. Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
this is hilarious.
Do you have any problems with sex?
No. Yeah, I didn't have sex when she.
Wait.
But
do you have any problems with sex?
No. Yeah, I didn't have sex with Chino until around the fur.
But did you?
Went down the whole dick, then I had to gate, but sex we went down. I had 69.
Mr.
Then,
Pizza
you know, still.
said in the chat, I will admit it's funnier now.
I think it's too thick. Chino, but.
And then when did you introduce this bitch?
It's like whatever. It's good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, I don't fuck you guys.
Because
to me, that's the best part about F. Like, a lot of it is like figuring that butt. Like, you know what I mean? Like fucking. And then wife bitch just looked at it. G.
I am almost wondering that like. Were they even talking about sex before? Because like it just so much of it just fits so well.
And then wife bitch just looked at it. G. Gonna hopefully do this. You know what I mean? And not be just like two guys doing the same thing with the same amp. I'm currently gay. Was actually we were doing gay. That's when I got my first. And I at that point I don't even care. And that's kind of the mentality. Is
You're gonna have 100 DDs by the time you're done.
When he
shaking his head.
Said in the
by
chat.
the time you're done.
No, they're literally talking about guitar equipment.
That's even funnier. The way that they're talking about just it's hilarious.
100 DDs by the time you're done.
Oh, the way he's shaking his head in this is just like complete disappointment at like what ISM has created. Like
when he's flying, where he's flying, and what he's playing on guitar, if I look up, it's gonna sound.
You know, half the stuff just goes over my head. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
If you're not in the thick of that, then it's whatever to you.
That was fun. That was fun. ISM, can you send me the BBT YTP? Because I do want to react to that. Throw them in the chat and I'll react to it after this. And then those two will be like the last days I review for the stream because I got to get ready for work and stuff.
I'm in front of a restaurant with a $100,000 check. Hey, how's it going? I'm curious if you would quit your job for $100,000.
No, I don't think I would. Like I
Mr.
have
Pizza
bills to pay.
You can
said
get
in
a
the
different
chat.
job and have
I did.
$100,000.
My boss
said in the chat. It must have been Mr. Pizza. Mr. Pizza said in the chat. It's in the react to you request, newbie.
Oh, it's in the reaction request. Okay, hold on.
Not be happy.
Let's ask him. Would you be mad if she quit for $100,000?
Not at all.
Are you serious? I'm your favorite employee.
I would quit.
You heard your boss.
Okay, I'm putting my 2-week notice right now.
Well, no 2 weeks.
And if you don't believe the money is real, in this car is $100,000 in duffel bags.
Mr. Beast, thanks to
Oh,
you.
wow, one thing is really cool. I know I don't have time for
said
this,
in the chat.
but I do want to react to this
Mr.
too.
Beast is awesome.
I do want to react to this too. Ruslan did a video about Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast It's a very cool thing. Hold on. Ruslan. Wait, what was that? Swatted 8 times? Hold on, how long is the video though?
First
It was a 5-minute clip. I can do
your
this.
House keeps getting hit. I
Also,
feel
why
that
does
is
it look
how
like
whenever I go
a
on Twitter,
Dr. Phil
it's
set?
like the most insane thing. Can you
Because wasn't the set originally like very much similar to like The View? But I think she has different sets, and that's kind of cool. But yeah, this is kind of cool, and we'll get to this in a bit. But it's a very cool backstory to Mr. Beast.
I can quit my job now. I'm so happy.
We're just getting started. We have hundreds of thousands
Mr.
more dollars
Pizza
we're giving away next
said in the
bit.
chat.
And now we're gonna do it again at Walmart.
To the
Have either of you seen the channel Mr. Beast?
instead of the Mr. Beast one if you want.
Would you quit your job for
Lennoxo
$10,000 in
said
cash?
in the chat.
No.
Mr. Beast
I
just won
figured you'd
award
say
for
that. You don't
Nickelodeon
actually have
Kids'
to quit
Choice
your job.
Awards.
Do you want 10 grand though?
Yes, I would love it.
Here you go. We're not actually gonna make her quit her job. Oh, you're crying?
Good.
We just found out my grandma had stage 4 cancer.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's just God way of working things out. Like, this is such a blessing.
Now we're on a football
Wow.
field with 2 ex-quarterbacks. Now, can you throw that football to him? You guys just made $1. You just made another $1. Every time you throw the football back and forth, you guys get $1. Now, here's the thing. If one of you drop it or it touches the ground, you lose all your money. They literally have all day to make as much money as they want. We're going to go to the next bit. This is an $800,000 mansion,
What?
and this is the key to the front.
I've never watched Mr. Beast videos, honestly. So this is very interesting.
Play dramatic music. That felt empowering. I feel like a man now. Nolan, if you get the correct key out of this fishbowl that unlocks this door, you get to keep this mansion. Pick a key. No, wait! Good luck. Oh, he's popping the keys out.
This could be an $800,000 decision.
Nolan, you're taking forever. Pick a key. 4, 3.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that was a bad decision.
If this key unlocks the house, he gets a mansion. Oh, thank God.
It's way too big!
Oh my God!
Oh.
Oh my gosh!
Screw this key!
We are now at an airport in this.
What? How many things does he do each video? He's done like 7 bits in 2 minutes. What is this? What all his videos are like?
This is a pilot.
I fly planes.
And I want you to take this piece of paper
It said in the chat, Mr. Beast is a multi-billionaire. He invested in Bitcoin at the perfect time several years ago. Ism said in the chat, not billion, I mean million.
That's funny. I like how like he introduces the pilot as a pilot, and then the pilot feels obligated to like
Mr. Pizza
explain
chat.
what
He also
what
has a ton of
pilots
channels
do.
and sponsors as
Like,
well.
oh wait, you hear that I'm a pilot? Let me explain like what my job is like.
Now at an
I fly
airport, and
planes.
this is a pilot.
I fly planes.
This is a pilot. I fly planes.
We are now at an airport, and this is a pilot.
I fly planes.
And I want you to take this piece of paper and make a paper airplane. And if it makes it past this line, he gets $1,000. $5,000, $10,000, and if it makes it all the way past this line, $20,000. So if there
Wow.
was anyone who knew how to make a perfect paper airplane, it would be Wayne.
That would be me.
Do you think you're gonna win the 20 grand?
And I'm gonna give it my best shot.
There are ethical things to this, though, I will say, that I am a little bit iffy on. Let's see. Because there's a scene in Succession that reminds me a little bit of this, too. Hold on, let me see. Where's the scene here? Okay, this scene. It feels ethically very... I will say, this is fun to watch, but ethically reminds me of this scene, which, when you watch this scene, it's very, very cruel. Like, look at this. These are, for context, these are like some millionaire family playing a game of baseball together. For like Thanksgiving or something.
Hold on, hang on. Sorry. Apologies.
Boo,
Okay.
honey, boom.
Yeah, okay, sorry, I gotta run. It's the crunch. Frank, will you be link man here? Huh? Dad?
Of course.
Come here, sweetie.
This is a great show, by the way.
Well, if Kendall's going, we need
But
one
check
more
this out.
to make it fair.
Keep it up, Slugger.
The kid. Hey. Hello. Hello. Kid. Yeah. Yes, you. You want to play? Dad, can he play?
Yes. Sure.
Thank you, Dad.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
Let me see. I kind of want to skip this part because this part isn't
cooking. That's right.
as important.
Mr. Pizza said in the chat, the PBTYTP is absolutely hilarious.
Let's see, where is it? Okay, here.
Hi. You're gonna be fine. Relax. Don't worry about it. Can you hit a ball?
Yeah.
Great, because I will give you $1 million if you hit a home run.
It's literally the same thing as what Mr. Beast is doing. Mr. Beast is Roman Roy.
Great, because I will give you $1 million if you hit a home run. I'm dead serious, okay?
For real?
Yes, for real. $1 million. Honey, where's the, your bag?
Hey, I'll do it for $1 million. Give me that. Just kidding, you're good.
All right.
And the weird thing is everyone is like, this is so terrible to do. But why is it bad when these people do it, but not when Mr. Beast does it?
$1 million cash for a...
You know, if you hit a home run in this wiffle ball game, I will give you $1 million. And then what do we have here? We have this.
And I want you to take this piece of paper and make a paper airplane. And if it makes it past this line, he gets $1,000. $5,000, $10,000, and if it makes it all the way past this line, $20,000.
Why is this good, but this bad?
Fucking run.
Rome, don't be an asshole.
Not being an asshole. I want him incentivized. This is fun. It's a game. Jeez, stop being so serious. Huh? Witnesses? Good luck. I believe
See,
you.
why is this bad?
Mr. Pizza
I don't understand this.
said in the chat, Mr. Beast is a great guy. I mean, you literally get a chance to get a lot of money. Lennoxo said in the chat, I still have some doubts that Mr. Beast is a millionaire. He literally keeps pulling money out of his butt in every video.
Okay, but hold on. Mr. Beast is a great guy. I mean, okay, but is this guy a good guy? Is this guy a bad guy for doing this? Like, watch this scene.
$1 million. Okay, come on. Whoa, that's it.
Mr. Pizza said in the chat, newbie no. Ism said in the chat, oh no.
Come on, Tommy. Go. Come on.
Ism said in the chat, shocked face. Lennoxo said in the chat, what?
Okay, now here's the thing.
Pizza said in the chat, shit.
We're so damn close. That was so close. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is so sad. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't give it to you. That would have counted, by the way. That was almost a home run if you went all the way around.
Ism
But it was a really
said
good
in the
effort.
chat,
Really
Okay.
that video he was
Take this
playing must
back
have
to your
been
life, it's
copyrighted.
$250,000.
DJLL reacts.
Okay,
Said
hold
in
on.
the chat, no.
So we have this. So we have that, right? And he doesn't make it. But if you go here, then this is you're not gonna. Hold on, what the heck is this? Oh, did the stream get taken down? Let me check and see here. Stream.
Ism
Because I was in the
said in
middle.
the chat,
I was in the middle of
sad
reacting.
Looney Tunes outro plays. Not a newbie streams. Said in the chat, I shoot did the stream get taken down.
Because I was in the middle of reacting to what was happening in that scene. And let me see here. I need to stop the stream and then
Lennoxo
restart.
said in the chat,
Hold on.
Ism.
Okay, hold on.
said
Let
in
me
the
see. Let me see if
chat,
this is
yes,
working now.
It must have been that video about the $1 million swing.
Because I wanted to use it as an example. Hold on, are we still down?
Ism said in the chat.
Hold on, let me see. Are we back on? Oh no, hold on. I'm gonna have to go into the YouTube studio. figure out what the problem is.
Said in the chat. But I believe if you go back into YouTube Studio, you can remove that part so you still have the rest of the stream uploaded. Not a newbie streams. Said
Oh no, we're
chat.
back. We're back.
Hold on,
We're
I'm
back.
working
Okay,
on
I don't know what
getting it
happened.
back up. Give me a sec.
I don't know why we're
Mr.
back
Pizza
now.
said in the
But
chat,
basically,
he
so
can
if you
make a new
guys
stream
didn't
to finish the
see,
2 reaction requests.
if you guys didn't see what happened in that
Lenexo
scene,
said in the chat.
you know,
Why,
basically he did get the home run. He tore
Mr.
the check up in
Pizza
front of him,
said in the
and so like
chat.
that's what happened in that scene.
Yo,
Now
Mr.
with
Pizza
this, you
said
always
in the chat.
risk.
He back.
You
Mr.
always
Pizza
risk.
Said in the chat.
You know, not
Mr.
getting the $1
Pizza
million or
said
whatever,
in
the
the chat.
$1,000 or whatever.
Let's go.
So I don't understand why is this
Anyone who
more
knew how to
ethical?
make a perfect paper airplane, it would be Wayne.
It's an interesting question from the chat. How is this more ethical than the $1 million swing?
$20,000 is on the line. For the precision. Oh, hey. That's not bad. Wait a minute, Chris. It only halfway made it.
This is the halfway point of the airplane?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
All right.
Hey.
Said in the chat.
Okay.
Mr. Beast actually gives the money to people.
No, but the guy would have. Why is the stream taken down again?
Lenexo said in the chat. What? Mr. Pizza said in the chat. It must be the Mr. Beast video.
Hold on, why is it? So is it the Mr. Beast video or is it the? No, I think it's because I went back. Oh, let me see here. And let me just pull this back on my face right now. But I think it's because I went
Pizza
back to the
said in
Succession
the
clip.
chat. Newbie, I think it is the Mr. Beast video.
Really? No, I don't think it is. I really don't think that's
Mr.
it.
Pizza said in the chat. Just cut it out and finish the stream with the YTP.
Oh, let me see. But how do I fix? Because it says it's temporarily blocked. But I mean, I'm definitely not streaming anything copyrighted at the moment because it's literally just my face. And I don't really understand why it is that it's getting blocked. Just waiting for them to bring it back up so that I can continue to stream. But in the meantime, yeah, I have a. Hold on. But anyways, it's interesting. It's an interesting. Well, I should probably wait for the stream to come back online. But anyway, I just thought it was an interesting, like, rhetorical thing, which is like, what makes. I thought it was an interesting thing, like. Wait, am I back? Oh yeah, I think I'm back. Yeah, I thought it was an interesting rhetorical thing, which is like, what makes, you know, offering them those millions of dollars, to someone bad.
Said in the chat.
But. You know, like, but offering like tens of thousands of dollars to people, like, not bad, and telling people to literally quit their job. I don't understand that. But let's see. Yeah, that Mr. Beast, I think it was actually the Succession
Mr.
clip,
Pizza
but maybe it was
said
Mr.
in the
Beast
chat.
video. But this video,
time for the
I know we're not going to
BBTYTP.
be, I know we're not going to be cut for this. So I do want to go over this video, which is like a little bit of a background on Mr. Beast. It's really interesting.
Today,
It's interesting
I
insight
was
on who he is as a
Instagram and
person.
I saw a video from my buddy Off the Curb Ministries about Mr. Beast's faith, and it was a short YouTube short IG reel, and I decided, man, I want to dig deeper into this topic because I always kind of had this sense that Mr. Beast came from a Christian foundation based on his desire to give away a ton of money and philanthropy and all
Interesting.
these things he's doing. But what I discovered is
It's very unique. You don't see tons of Christian content creators who aren't doing theological content who also are like philanthropic like that.
Ton of money and philanthropy and all these things he's doing. But what I discovered is much more interesting. And I have a theory. You guys know I don't do conspiracy theories often, but I have a theory I want to pose to you guys to see if you guys think it's possible that Mr. Beast might be involved in something that many of us are fans of. So, before we get into that, guys, my name is Ruslan. Make sure you check out the links in the description. There's a free How to Study the Bible course at masterminddevo.com, as well as a free niche training if you're looking to get into the YouTube space over at mastermindniche.com. Links in the description. Great
also, love his new
resources.
set. His set is
Check
fire.
that out. All right, so here's the video that I saw from my buddy Off the Curb Ministries. Mr. Beast's biggest mistake. Wait for it. And he basically says that Mr. Beast used to have "I am unashamed of the gospel" on his YouTube banner. Interesting. So I did a little bit more digging, and I discovered that Mr. Beast actually went to a Christian Academy high school in Greenville, North Carolina. And then I saw another video that says Mr. Beast's old Christian YouTube banners.
Now, one thing is interesting is if you guys have watched Mr. Beast, let me know if you guys have noticed these banners, because these banners are
so
old.
excited for his reaction to the BBTY.
These banners are
going to lose
old,
it.
and so I've been following that closely. But if you guys have been,
check this out. Okay, Mr. Beast 6000, John 3:16 over here in the corner. And then we got another one, John 3:16, for God so loved the world, right? Mr. Beast 6000, commentary, gaming, and more. Mr. Beast TV, boom, another one. I've seen this logo everywhere. I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ.
And nice use of like the all capital letters and then the cross and the T at the end. Kind of tacky, but very cool.
All right, so this is the one. This is the one that he had here, which is my buddy Off the Curb Ministries. Okay, and let's keep going. So these are all of his banners, and I think we're going to see him replying, Mr. Beast, subscribe for random videos. And
nice.
There's scripture here, for God so loved the world, John 3:16. Again, so he keeps dropping these John 3:16. It's almost like a In-N-Out cup, you know, where they put the scripture inside of it. Gameplay connections, another cross. Interesting, right?
Yeah, a lot of cross stuff.
Biggest YouTuber
That
out
was
there.
his logo.
The Squid Game series outperformed
Said in the
Netflix
chat.
Squid Game series.
Off the Curb, I'm subscribed to.
Oh, nice. He's a like a theologian dude. Like, are you? At least he said it's like Off the Curb Ministries. Are you a Christian? That's
another
dope.
one with the cross.
If so,
okay. And check this out. Wow, John 3:16. Nice. I prefer Romans 10:19. And this is supposedly a response from Mr. Beast from about 5 years ago. This video came out in 2020, and it says, "I didn't think of that. Romans 10:9 is definitely better for a non-believer." I believe that's the passage where it says, "Anyone that professes with their mouth believes in their heart that Jesus Christ is Lord will be saved."
Methodist.
And he says, "Who has never heard of the word?"
That
Next
is
time
so
I get
cool.
a new banner.
That's so cool. It's really cool to see like people in the chat who are like believers, because DJ LL, I believe, mentioned that she was a believer in one of my more recent streams too, and that's like really cool.
I really love
because I'm also like entering a space where a lot of not a lot of Christians are making this sort of content, which is one reason why I'm making it. So it's really cool to also see people gravitating towards that who also share my faith. That's really great.
You're not ashamed of showing people you are a follower of Christ. Mr. Beast responds with an emoji face. Interesting. Okay, so there's another one. Thank you for watching me, and I will always show my faith somehow on this channel. I am glad people like it. Sounds like he has some Christian foundation. All right, I dig it. Went to a Christian high school. This is starting to make sense to me, so I kept digging away. I said, okay, I need to dig away because I have a mutual acquaintance with Mr. Beast that I'm going to tell you guys about, and I'm going to give you guys my conspiracy theory here in a second.
I forgot about that part. I have seen this video
before.
When
he was then asked about this and his response, this kind of let me down in the sense that I thought he would be a bit more neutral, because I understand that people want to avoid politics and religious talk. But here's his response when he was asked about this by Logan Paul in 2019.
What about falling off? What about falling off?
Going to that?
I mean, I'm just. Can you imagine? Can you imagine you're on the grind, bro? You're at like 100 mil, about to pass PewDiePie. You fall in love, and
then it's just like all of a sudden I lose interest. I know.
You just can't make eye contact, dude, with any girls. Ever. Just don't do it. Don't
keep a Bible in between us. Don't get near it.
Keep a Bible in between us. Listen to what he says.
And that's cool because that shows that he's still very much like at least connected or tied to the Christian ideology, because, or like the Christian community, because that is like a common thing where it's like he would have room for Jesus and like all that like cheesy, pithy, and actually probably damaging purity culture talk. But it's something very common, so it shows that he is at least somewhat still like very much connected to slash at least like mentally from the perspective of the Christian community, which is that part is not
Are you saving
bad.
yourself for marriage?
Are you?
No,
Nice.
absolutely.
I love this.
Absolutely not.
And that's evasive. Isn't it interesting how evasive he's being there?
Are you?
He says, "Are you?" He doesn't answer the question. He says, "Are
Listen to
you?"
what he says next.
Are you saving yourself for marriage?
Are you?
Especially since like it's well known that he's always bragging about like banging chicks and stuff. Like he's everyone knows that like he is like he at least pretends to be fairly promiscuous. So that's like not even a question.
No, absolutely.
I love this.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
What about
I'm not religious. Yeah.
I'm not religious. I'm not religious.
Okay.
Right? He's banter. He says, I'm not religious. And what he says next bummed me out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you saving yourself for marriage?
I'm not religious.
At all?
No, I'm not.
What about that Jesus?
What about that Jesus? You want that Jesus?
All is such a troll. You're not religious? No, I'm not. At all? What about that Jesus?
You want that Jesus though? You want that Jesus?
No.
You say no.
Yeah, like you just ask the same question in different ways. The answer's the same.
So he asked him about Jesus specifically, and he says, no.
I guess you're agnostic.
Agnostic. Like, I mean, the universe is complex, and like it's hard to believe someone didn't do it, but like, I don't know. There's a lot. It's you know.
You're open-minded.
Yeah.
So you believe in a creator or some sort of being.
But it's just like
deity,
hard
perhaps.
to tell. I mean, there's a lot out there, you know.
He's agnostic, so he doesn't have proof to push him in either direction or another.
Hey,
but he
no,
doesn't have
by the way, I get it. Same page as you.
Yeah.
Then they started talking about
Interesting.
the world being flat and all kinds of wild stuff. Now, listen to the whole interview. Interesting conversation. Mr. Beast, when it comes to content, is a brilliant thinker, but there's definitely a degree of obsession with creating YouTube, almost to the point where if you really hear about how obsessed he is with YouTube, it almost sounds like there is a idol of it of sorts. And trust me, I love this platform. This platform is amazing. It's done a lot for me. I enjoy it. But I think Mr. Beast might be underestimating how much his Christian framework and his Christian foundation has inspired him to be the type of creator that he is. And I really do pray and hope that he is humble enough to really reevaluate that Jesus that Logan Paul asked him, because I think there's way more there than just a religion or just I'm going to delay gratification and save myself for marriage. I think
Said in the
when we
chat,
look and study
you might have felt
who
pressured
Jesus is
by Logan Paul
historically,
to not know
so
what
much
to believe in the
aligns
heat of
for
the
people
moment.
That's
to
true.
examine it.
And
So-
part of me is like he might not have necessarily he might not have been genuine, right? He might be like, okay, I want to be the kind of person where someone can watch me and be led to Christ. Much how I'm pretty sure that people have watched Jordan Peterson, for example, and been led to Christ. And you don't have to say that I believe in Christianity or believe that the Bible's true. Literally, all you have to say is like, a God probably exists, and that could be enough. And I think that his private beliefs and his public beliefs might not line up, which is still a little bit disappointing.
Did Mr. Beast grow up to be
Because it's better to be genuine,
Mr.
but
Pizza
I
said in
wouldn't
the
be
chat,
shocked.
You newbie, would you be
Let me
cool
see.
if I set a time for your clips to upload so you don't gotta worry about it?
Let me see. Hold on, let me see here. I wouldn't be surprised if like he was being disingenuous, but I think it is always better to be ingenuous and to be genuine and to be yourself.
It would seem so based on the evidence that we have. Did he then deconstruct? Seemingly so. Was he trying to be polite about the Jesus question? I don't think that was a neutral response. Some people are like, I don't think it was a neutral response.
It's not a neutral
response.
response.
Would have been more like Elon Musk's response. Babylon Bee tried to like lead him to Christ, right? Just, sure, yeah, you know, cool, yeah, Jesus, I'm not going to get in the way of Jesus, right? That would have been a neutral response. This was a no. What about that Jesus? No, right? Which I'm like, man, I think if there's any foundation of his Christian roots there still, which I think there is based on his approach to wanting to give away money and all that kind of stuff. But that bummed me out. Here is my conspiracy theory about Mr. Beast. I have a mutual acquaintance who is very influential behind the scenes. And he's not a Christian guy, he's a Mormon guy, which I initially thought Mr. Beast probably grew up Mormon, but he didn't, grew up Christian. Daryl Eves, friend of mine, acquaintance of mine. He coaches a lot of folks behind the scenes. He's a Mormon guy, but, and some of you guys might be like, he is one of the executive producers, and his company is one of the executive producers of the show, The Chosen, okay? And they run Angel Studios, which is a faith-based collective that put their money together and were able to create the Chosen series. You guys see where I'm going with this? Now, Daryl Eves and Mr. Beast.
I forgot about this connection. I completely forgot about this.
tight from all accounts. And if we just look up some images of them together, there's Daryl Eves, Mr. Beast. They speak at each other's things. They do all these different things, right? And so Daryl Eves.
Oh, also forgot to respond to your message, Mr. Pizza. No, because I'll set the time for it, because the time of when I want to upload it may change depending on how many clips I get. So,
Mr. Beast, how is this Chosen thing getting funded? So on and so forth. Is it possible, my theory, that maybe, just maybe, Mr. Beast was one of the silent investors in Angel Studios to get the Chosen off the ground? Maybe he's not sure where he is with Jesus anymore, but he still wants to contribute. Is it a Mormon and agnostic making the Chosen? Who knows? That is my conspiracy theory.
That would be funny.
I don't know if it's true. I texted Daryl before the stream and I said, I need some answers. He didn't text me back, unfortunately. Daryl, if you're watching this, tap in with your guy. I'm trying to pull up to
Mr. Pizza
the Chosen filming.
Said in the chat.
You invited me to come.
By the way, just reminding you that I did link the BBTYTP in the Discord reaction request.
Is it possible that Daryl Eves and Mr. Beast
good. I don't think I saw the link in there before.
Maybe he's one of the silent investors in terms of the Chosen.
Okay, yeah. So in case you guys are just curious, yeah, so there is connections of like Mr. Beast being a Christian, so that would explain why he is so philanthropic and kind-hearted and makes such wholesome content. Okay, we're gonna react to this and then the BBT YTP, and then that'll be the end of the stream.
First and foremost, I'm glad to see you're alive. Your house keeps getting hit. I feel like that is how whenever I go on Twitter, it's like the most insane thing. So can you just kind of explain for people that are not aware of what keeps happening to your house?
So we've been swatted 8 times
said in the
this year.
chat.
It started
Do not
on
worry, there
January
is FA
6th,
word or
the day after
N-word
we
in
hosted
it.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
So no need to worry.
The first thing that happens is we're recording our show. We do it live. We film live. And then all of a sudden the door to the studio pops open, which is to my right side, and I see a bunch
These
of
cameras are nice, dude. Like this setup is insane.
We film live. And then
literally
all of a
feels
sudden,
like
the
it's
door to
giving me
the
Dr.
studio
Phil
pops
vibes.
open, which is to my right side, and I see a bunch of cops. There's a couple cops. And
I remember watching this moment. I wish I had time. Oh, they're playing it.
And the cops my right side. And
The moment was surreal, dude. I have to find exactly where it is and react to it next time and show you guys the moment. It's insane. Watching a swatting of a live podcast.
There is no FA word or N word. Mr. Pizza
reacting to a live, like seeing a live swatting of a podcast
said in the chat
at the time, like is insane.
And I'm like, what is going
like
on?
Live on the air.
Like, come over here, and I'm like, there's cameras on. You know what's going on? And so the cop walks through the room, does a sweep, and then ends up leaving. And then we're all confused as to what just happened. Then we got confirmation from our crew downstairs. So swatting is when someone calls the police claiming they're at your house or place of usually your house, and they'll say something crazy like, I'm armed and I've killed, I'll kill again. So the police react. They show up. We had, I think, 3 or 4 different agencies.
Oh, yeah, that moment was insane.
I believe 8 or so different officers all around the properties sweeping through. That started, and then January 6th was the first time it happened. Then I think about a week later, we got swatted again, which was the same thing. This time, they made a bunch of wild claims. The police show up once again. Now they kind of are aware of what's going on, so we're now at 8. But they've also started targeting...
Crazy. Also, they got swatted, not just swatted, but there was a credible death threat that they had to cancel a show like last week. It was insane.
Which is a house, but it's like a work studio. They started targeting my private residence, and it escalated to recently was our 8th swatting. A lot of people seem to think this means the cops are kicking our door in every time. No, it means the cops show up and they're like, hey guys, how's it going? Yep, someone called in a bomb threat or a murder or something.
Because he's talked to the law enforcement about this.
Crazy kids.
So they're expecting it now. So this is very strange. Like, so first off, the first time it happens, it's terrifying because the idea is that if they think someone's dying in there, they could just bang in the door, potentially shoot everybody and make a mistake.
We got lucky.
Yeah, but how come they haven't been able to find out who it is? That's what I'm interested in.
Well, I think they might know.
There are multiple people who have been doing it, last I heard.
Time, and they want to make sure they're doing it right.
And they know at least one person who's doing it.
I'm pretty sure the feds are involved because we also had the bomb squad show up. And so this wasn't a swatting, but something occurred where all of a sudden 2 bomb squad vehicles show up and there's feds and we have to like back off and they're like, don't talk about this and put it on the internet. And I'm like, the bomb squad's here. I'm not going to film it and show it because there's security stuff, but I'm also just like, I suppose the issue is if this was any other news outlet, any other personality, especially if it was establishment press, it'd be front page.
Right.
A journalist getting swatted, the police are showing up, why are they targeting him? Right. And I'm like, I'm not gonna let people just do this and act like, we shouldn't care about it. The first time it happened though, probably would have been really, really bad. But right as the police were pulling up, our CTO was walking through the parking lot and the police pulled up, put the spotlight on him, told him to put his hands in the air and no, don't move. If he wasn't there, they would have stormed the studio.
Yeah.
Wow.
So why are they targeting you? That's a good.
I didn't know that about the
here.
CTO
why
situation.
Suddenly your podcast gets really big.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Why do people want you to be swatted?
I don't know. We
said in the chat
for lying all the time.
He talks like he's describing a situation to a therapist. But the therapist is Candace Owens, so that's a minus.
No, it's just an interview.
We hosted Marjorie Taylor Greene on January 5th. The next day, we get swatted the first time.
Yeah.
May have something to do with that. We're not, they try and call us right-wing or far-right, but we have a mixed bag. I mean, Ian, our co-host, is kind of a crazy guy who's not conservative at all. And so I'm wondering if the real issue is we don't do things that are bannable. So they can't target us by flagging us to get us removed. But we're hosting people like Alex Jones and Steve Bannon, Marjorie Taylor Greene, among many other people.
You're not allowed to talk to them.
And those people.
And also, like he's had Bosch on like multiple times, so it's not just right-wing people that he's having on the show.
Violence on social media. Right. So here we have a vehicle that gets Bannon and Alex Jones to talk about their ideas in a way that violates no rules. How do you stop that? SWAT us 8 times in 1 year, but it doesn't work. I mean, they have gone after my personal house, which is the craziest. We've had 15 guys show up with short barrel rifles.
And this is why it's great that he's made a trailer that he streams and does live events from. And that's like really great because it fights back against like all this stuff.
I'm like, no one's at my house. It's like an empty house. The cops show up confused and leave.
Right.
I suppose they're trying to silence us, but at a certain point, the cops just know us and then wave and say, we're here for the sweep. Oh, okay, and here's what happened. And give some information.
Inflation is out of control.
Wow. So that's pretty much it. But it's, he's been swatted a lot of times and it's been kind of scary for him. Alrighty, let's see. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We're gonna go grab this BBT clip. Let's see. Okay, I'm feeling.
Said in the chat,
I don't know. This one seems kind of
Alex
edgy. I don't know if I
Jones
like this,
attacked
but
David
we'll see.
Pakman because of his appearance and doesn't like the idea that he has a bonus show.
It's interesting. It sounds like a mixture of like boomer talk and also like typical ad hominem rhetorical arguments. Interesting.
Fucking meal, dog. You fucking beer, you fucking
Mr.
dog.
Pizza
Fucking
said in the chat, don't forget the show.
Wait, what? What's this? What? What the heck is this? What?
Ism said in the chat, this is a weird YTPI will say.
Also, why is the closed captions not working? Why are the closed captions not working?
Here, people, and I guess it finally happened. I have fucked 9,000 subscribers.
No! Is he drunk though?
Fuck you, dude.
What?
What, 9,000? That's right, it's over, non. Anyway, it's that time again. Let's fuck Billy Bob Hanley.
Oh my gosh. Oh, what? I like the blur effect. The blur effect is great. How? Ugh. The heck? I mean, I get through this whole thing. What is this? It's insane.
Yeah. How much nuts can a bus nut if a bus nut couldn't bust nut? You just be like, boom, 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 boom.
Ism. Said in the chat. I would skip this part, it's creepy.
Creepy isn't terrible.
Said in the chat. This part is creepy. Mr. Pizza. Said in the chat. It creeped me out.
But this is rare. This is very strange. I don't. What? That was as scary as I thought it would be, but it's so weird.
We'll give you guys a
What?
present. Listen to Barry talk shit.
I am very lost. Oh no.
Barry talk shit. I ain't gonna talk shit. I'm Chilly Willy, I'm a shot. No, yeah. Listen to Barry talk shit. I ain't gonna talk shit about Billy Willy's brain Willy. Don't worry about it.
That's the funniest part of this whole thing.
I ain't gonna touch your beer bottle. I swear I'm not going to touch your beer bottle. Because I would never do that at all. I would never take this.
Mr. Pizza. Said in the chat. I love this YTP.
Let me fast forward a bit. Okay.
So, here's the thing, guys. He's going back there. He's draining the little Willie. When he comes back, stick around. There's going to be a special treat coming for you. Billy's wife is Budweiser. I hope not. I just can't. Billy's wife.
What?
He says you can't slip. That's live, man.
Some good CGI there. What the heck? Okay. Okay, I think I'm done with this.
Sometimes I question Mr. Pizza's humor.
Sometimes. Oh my goodness. That was interesting. These are the things that make me not want to react to YTPs anymore. You think I'm joking? I'm not.
Mr. Pizza said in the chat.
Okay,
oh,
let's see.
Requested this. What are you
okay.
on about? Mr. Pizza.
Alright, y'all can argue in the Discord, man. I gotta head out. I gotta get ready for work.
Mr. Pizza said in the chat. 2. Mr. Pizza said in the chat.
I'm a little bit upset that I got the strike down for a period of the stream. That was not cool.
Ism said in the chat. Yeah, Mr. Pizza, why do you do this to the poor conservative Christian?
I mean, you're right. I am poor. But I also am a conservative Christian. So it's that is funny. That is funny. But anyways, thanks everyone. That's not throwing. Yeah, cool. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm gonna leave you with this banger of a track. I will see you guys later. No bourbon whiskey stream, unfortunately. But it was great to finally be back. And I hope you guys all have a great day. Have a good time making clips and things. I need clips for the channel. So please go through and make clips whenever you guys find time to do so. But anyways, thanks everyone for tuning in, and I will see. I don't even know. I don't know. Anyways, I will see you guys next time I do a stream. Yeah, it was really, really great. Really, really great. And it was awesome to be here with all of you guys. So, anyways, peace. I don't know. See you guys.
sorry. I would like to apologize to all my people.